Welcome back, everybody, to the 11th episode of Heroes of Absalom, brought to you by Three Kobolds Gaming. Woo-hoo! Thank you all so much for joining us again after our little holiday hiatus. Speaking of the holidays, does anyone have any awesome COVID-era Christmas, holiday, New Year's, anything? Did anyone do anything?
Did I do? Well, I flew across the country. Has anyone flown during COVID? It's the worst. It is the living worst. Ben, I want to hear what you have to say because your mic is muted, but I cannot hear you.
Oh man, no one heard me scream Happy New Year. I'm upset. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Happy Congratulations, New Year. Everyone, for making it to 2021. We survived. We're here.
You know, it was a bumpy ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so different. You know, like my family, we always go to Richmond to see my grandmother and my cousins. And you can't just do that. You can't just do that these days. So
we a little bit can. I kind of did that, but it just took so much planning. Yeah. So my question to you guys is: I fly back like super early on Wednesday. I fly back to Montana, and I want to know if you have without having flown at all or moved at all. What are your flying tips for me? For like my 4 a.m. flight on Wednesday morning.
They give you the complimentary earplugs that like would help you sleep. Just put them straight in your nostrils so that you can't actually inhale any of the COVID, and then your flight is safe.
There we go. Yep, he's got it.
You don't even need a mask. Just use those.
Jack just solved COVID-19.
If you don't breathe, you can't
also,
catch or suffer from a respiratory disease.
Advice. Don't actually follow that.
Disclaimer.
Please be responsible. Follow CDC guidelines.
Don't listen to Jack Tarbell.
I'm an asshole.
Ray, I think it would be a lot safer for you to just walk.
That's pretty good.
Healthier. Really work on those like calf muscles.
You know what? Jog, you wuss.
Just you sit outside the plane.
And we all know that Ray, climber, really needs to work on his musculature.
Oh yeah.
It's also
Gray never exercises.
That's true. It's also 2,000 miles almost exactly. So how many times could I listen
totally
to?
Doable. You can get there.
I would walk 500 miles.
I would walk 500 more.
That's why we have viewers. I need that math immediately.
You know what?
At a certain pace, 2,000 miles. How many times can you listen to that beautiful song?
Do it for the
Not
vibe, man.
enough.
Do it for
Not
the
enough
vibe.
times. That's how many.
Not enough. That's the true answer.
Really can't get enough of the Proclaimers.
One thing I wanted to share, if you haven't traveled yet, is mastering eating with minimal mask down exposure, because it's like 8+ hours in different airports and planes. So
Truthfully,
it's like this dance of like one bite mask up, and then
Well, why don't
sometimes
you just
Mask on.
exclusively
Fucking
drink
mask.
smoothies with a straw, like
into the mask, right?
Yeah.
Buy a
I did
portable
at one
blender.
point
Cut a hole.
Cut a hole. I
Cut a
put
hole.
goldfish in my mask and was just kind of like,
Eating truck.
It's like a horse with those feed masks. Yeah.
A feedback.
I did it with goldfish, and then on the plane I did it with M&Ms.
God, so
Modern problems require
So they
modern
call it
solutions.
Feed bag gray.
Once again, everybody, we do not recommend these for actual COVID safety.
That's something I actually did, though.
That being said, though, keep your eyes out for 3 Kobold branded feed masks.
Oh,
Yes.
oh my god.
They double as face
They're
masks,
just
but it's not their primary function.
Yeah.
Both big feed bags. Pockets on the inside for multiple snacks to choose from.
Yes.
Oh my god.
One in the upper beak, one in the lower beak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you
Oh
go.
my god, it's so funny.
You can press a button and it's a quick release that goes straight into your mouth.
Don't look out for those knockoff ones that have little nose holes for cocaine. So that's not officially licensed.
That's not us. That's not official
Yeah,
merch.
that's different.
Pretty sure
Oh,
that's
so
6
funny.
Kobolds, but we're not going to go there. Well,
Truthfully, I would never have eaten on a plane like with COVID. If I ever were to get on a plane, which I have no intention of doing before I get vaccinated, then like I wouldn't eat at all. That's
No, I mean, you don't eat on the plane. Like, you leave your mask on the whole time. But it's like, I literally leave at 4 a.m. and I don't land in Montana until like 1. So
Yeah.
it's like, I have to eat a bagel at some point when I'm in Minneapolis or something. Like, and you just
And
find a
that's
corner
one-
and you're just like,
One like mountain time, right?
Ray,
yeah.
here's my idea. Turn into a plant and just photosynthesize for those 8 hours.
true.
Yeah, I mean, can we just master photosynthesis for humans yet?
that's
Ideal.
the best.
Dude, you're a Leshy. Yeah, turn into a Leshy.
Yeah, it's
I like that.
well,
Just
Leshy Gray.
leshy it up.
I'll tell you one place that doesn't have to worry about COVID, but does have plenty of other dirty, nasty diseases going around. That is the fictional
Where?
world of Galarian, where I would like to take everybody back
Oh.
now so that we can just hop into some fantasy, some make-believe, as we attempt to block out the real world around us. We return to our eager envoy of erratic emancipationists after they successfully negotiated the release of a half-dozen workers from the Stone Scale Kobold Uprising. Having made their way through the entirety of the fighting force of kobolds, they reached the final room, containing the hostages as well as a hefty number of kobold captors. A single kobold stood forth to represent her people, a dragon mage by the name of Scarix. She holds a hostage at knife point as she pleads her case, claiming that the tribe was mistreated, overworked, and underpaid, and that they simply wanted back pay for their work equal to the human pay. Some members of the group who demanded justice for the slain workers, but Scarix claims them to have been an unfortunate casualty and circumstance of the kobold war leader Rakarek, who took the situation of this hostage situation as an opportunity to prove her worth as a warlord. The group agrees to enable a parley between the Minkai and the kobolds, leaving Twinkletoes and Bastra behind to watch the hostages. Scarix takes that opportunity to describe the plights of her tribe during the undead siege of the city and how the money was necessary to the tribe's survival. That she would give over those who murdered the workers and walk away, but she needed the money to reestablish her people's livelihoods in the sewers under Absalom. After the negotiation was settled and the hostages released, the group questions some of the hostages for more information about the missing workers, their actual purpose in being here in the first place. They're unable to find much about the circumstance of the disappearance, but they did find that the missing workers went to a man named Jeremy Hoff to find better lodging the night that they went missing. Jeremy Hoff, coincidentally, is also the man who originally brokered the illegal contract between the Stone Scales and the Mincayan architects in the first place, information that Twinkletoes was able to get from Scarix. After all of this, the group leaves the pagoda to return to the Tipsy Tengu and enjoy a few rounds while sending word to Isabella of what they found, arranging to meet her at the bar the following morning. As night fell later and later, the group goes about their separate ways, and we pan back to the barely lit street corner, where Bastro and Twinkletoes are now stood face to face with two strange men who are claiming Twinkletoes to be this person named Eliana.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Now,
how?
I'm pretty
How
sure.
did you forget about it?
one of them, dressed in raggedy clothing, a red bandana tied around his head, both wearing this strange emblem on their jacket or leather coat. It's a palm facing outwards, all five fingers splayed in this copper, copper-colored, string embroidery. And one of them is speaking to Twinkletoes. Now, Eliana, the boss made sure we would never forget your face, and it's been a while since you've been around, but now I knew I recognized you when you walked past.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't think you have the right person.
Oh no. Boss made sure. That artist was real good with your depiction. About spot on. And here you are standing in front of me. Ralphie, got a hell of a payday in front of us. And the other one, draws a knife from his belt as he kind of begins to step forward towards you. They begin to kind of split off, with the one speaking to you still staying in front of you, the other slowly working his way around. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and have Bastro and Twinkletoes roll initiative.
Oh no!
No way, really?
By the way, Bastro's just sharing senses through Peter, so he's just staring off into space as he looks down.
Oh no, that's right.
At all.
Oh crap,
all
it's bad.
this happening from the sky. That's awful.
I feel like Twinkletoes would have known that was going on and shook him out of it.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
I wouldn't be
He
able
doesn't
to sense
feel.
you
You do that?
shaking.
He doesn't feel it. He's
Yeah.
sharing his senses.
You're shaking a corpse at that point.
Wait, this is such a bad situation.
This is
Yeah.
terrible.
This
This is
Okay,
awful.
just 1 second.
Nice map though, Will.
Okay.
Thanks, man. I worked really hard on a program called Dungeon Draft. Just a quick little plug there. Get
Oh,
some
yeah.
get some
This
awesome
map looks
like
awesome.
hand-drawn map assets.
So cool.
They've got this lighting effect. Gray was
Yeah.
actually the one who showed me how to do all this. But you can do some really cool stuff. It comes with a lot of awesome art, but you can download more, either for free or paid assets. It's really cool. If you ever have any interest in doing a kind of hand-drawn feel, but you're garbage at drawing like I am, here you go. It exports right into the necessary size for Roll20. So, I believe Bastro and Twinkletoes owe me an initiative roll. Bastro,
Got
I rolled a 22.
22. Okay. Bastro, what'd you get?
A 9.
22 and a 9. So
Anybody else
Twinkletoes,
sweating, or is that just me?
Twinkletoes already on
good.
high alert, manages to see the motions of the two in front of her and is able to get the drop on them before they are able to get the drop on her. Twinkletoes, what would you like to do?
All right. I believe I said at the end of last session that I had my main gouge out.
I'm gonna take your word on that one because I don't know.
I did. I definitely said it.
All right.
I remember saying that.
I
remember that.
definitely believe you.
Okay. First action, or rather, talking's a free action, isn't it?
Speaking is a free action, yes.
Okay, I'm going to yell Bastro snap out of it, or yell at Bastro to snap out of it, and hope that Peter heard, and that he will do so. Second action, I'm gonna run towards the mofo who is being rude to me.
Yeah, they both have weapons drawn, by the way. They are clearly posturing aggressively.
Cool. Yeah, that's not fun. I would like to... Which one was the one that was, like, talking, though?
This is the guy that was speaking to you. This is the guy with the knife out who's, like, creeping around the side.
I'm gonna go for the guy that's speaking. I would like to go up 5, 10... Oh, wait, I was your hero, wasn't I? Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20... 25... And I'm gonna do a little, like, distracting performance type deal, okay? Try to get their attention completely on me and away from Bastro.
Okay.
Do a little dance.
Do a little step gig.
Yeah. It's gonna be a 22 performance check.
22 performance, and is this your fascinating performance?
Yes.
All right, that does succeed. So he
So
is.
I get panache.
Yes, he is fascinated, just utterly confused as to why his mark steps up to almost melee range with him and then just starts dancing.
Utter confusion.
But similar effect. He's fascinated with whatever's going on here.
Cool.
We'll go with that, because why not?
Just like, I'm like, okay, I just
All right,
don't know what
see
to
if
do now.
you've got one more action. What would you like to do?
I don't want to get flanked by these guys. Is the issue.
That seems in the cards no matter.
What?
That seems like it's in the cards no matter where you
Yeah, I
stand.
know, but like I don't want to, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna run over to the other side of them, try to get a better flank with Bastro.
Big
5,
B.
10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay. Fair enough. Now, not enjoying the fact that you have just rushed past him, this man will take a move action to go here.
Makes sense.
And then will attempt to hit you with a wooden club. He's gonna swing out with it, going to bash your head in as you are a few feet shorter. Just a big overhand chop coming in. Ooh, I had a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. So that will be 2 points of bludgeoning damage. You're fine, right? Except it is also 4 points of precision damage from his sneak attack.
Oh! Because he's like.
Oh no.
Okay, cool. Sweet,
Because all the dirty, rotten scoundrels in Galarian are rogues.
I
need
mean,
to double check something. We didn't heal after our last combat with the. Did we heal?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you spent like 5 hours at the Tipsy Tengu. At some point, somebody would have healed you.
Okay.
We
Cool.
like
heal, but we're
take
not
that, yeah.
full to our new max, which is
Yeah.
Yes,
not
you are
that
full to your level 1 maximum health. You also don't have any of the resources, if you even have any. I think you don't have like, twice per day things, do you?
Well, she can't run out of panache. All right.
Well, she can if she uses it.
She makes the stuff.
Yeah, so you have that kind of binary system instead of a resource pool. But, I don't know, Bastard might not have any spells. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But you are full to your level 1 health. So I'm sure you'll be fine. Either way, he's gonna take another swing.
Okay.
Actually, he's not. What he's gonna do is he's gonna reach out with his other free hand, and he's gonna try to like grab you by the cloak and like grab you and hold you down.
Good luck with that.
We'll see what happens. This is against your. It's a melee strike. It's not a grapple. It is a special ability. So making a melee strike with it. This is 14 against your flat-footed AC.
14 against my flat-footed?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Yeah, so he tries to, like, grab your cloak and, like, twist and snare you up. But as he's, like, twisting your cloak, you spin even harder in the other direction, using all of your dancing prowess and muscle to wrench the cloak out of his hand. He's unable to pin you down that way.
And you said this is specifically not an attempt to grapple or restrain?
No, this is a special ability that he has where he's going against your AC and not your reflex or whatever, your acrobatics DC.
Well, the reason I ask is because I'm an unfettered halfling, so it's much, much, much harder to restrain or grapple me than most people.
Yeah, this is specifically not a grapple. Correct. Okay. But that is the end of his turn. His friend, however, is going to take a step to here and says, "All right, Jonah, you got him," and will launch, just whip a dagger straight at Bastar's face.
Do it.
He will.
Would the fact that Bastro's like outside of his body right now affect his AC?
No, it doesn't say that in the.
No, because unless it imposes a condition specifically, I'm gonna say no. He's still got armor on, so you know.
Dex bonus penalty? I don't know.
Flat-footed, maybe.
He's not. No, I'm not. Unless you read through and it specifically says it imposes a paralyzed condition or something.
I don't think the good gentlemen and ladies of Paizo really intended for this to be a combat maneuver. So
Yeah, that is a 16 against your AC.
Ooh, let's see. That's a nope. That's not gonna do it.
Okay, so having this strange out-of-body experience, viewing your own body through that of your bird, you watch this flash of spinning metal careen straight past your ear, just barely missing you. He draws a second dagger, launching it again. This time it's going to be it's lower, so don't worry about it. It's now Bastro's turn. Bastro, what would you like to do?
Goodness. All right, I'm gonna take an action to dismiss the share senses with my familiar.
Seems reasonable.
Right.
Reasonable.
Before that, I was just flying above, and every time the dagger was thrown, I was just telling myself, miss, 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 miss.
Oh, Dan froze. Did he froze for anybody else?
It's him coming back into his body.
It takes a second for the transfer. The soul transfer just takes a moment.
Yeah, there's buffer time.
That's why he couldn't dodge the daggers.
5.
He did
10,
touch the
15.
Dodged,
Yeah.
missed.
25. I'm gonna get right in this guy's face, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna stoke Twinkle Toes' heart.
Oh, baby.
So you just feel this warm energy brewing inside you, Twinkle Toes, and you feel a lot stronger now.
Consider yourself so very stoked.
I am so stoked right now, guys.
So
Just
stoked.
So stoked.
That's my turn.
All right, that means it's going to roll back around to Twinkle Toes.
You're sure that our other 3 party members didn't just like run around the corner?
Yeah.
The other 3
Just
party
senses
members who
danger.
specifically left you all to your own devices.
Shark
Okay,
is
cool.
fast asleep in his own apartment on the other side of
Hey.
town.
Bastro, thanks for coming back with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Forsyth said, "Have a great night. See you later."
Yeah.
True. It's true. Okay. Anyway, precise strike on this guy first.
I'd like to see you try.
Or sorry, not precise strike. Confident finisher is what I meant.
I'm confident you won't finish her.
I will be spending my panache.
Panake.
And I'm stoked. You said.
Yes.
You are so stoked.
I'm
So
so
stoked.
stoked.
Freaking
That gives me a +1, correct?
No,
Just the
no,
damage.
Stoke the heart is only the damage, yeah, +2.
Oh, right.
Not
Okay,
that
so
cool.
that's gonna be 17 to hit.
17 to hit.
Yes.
Just gonna miss.
That's okay because I still do my
Just-
precise strike damage. So
You guys
It's
are
true.
dead.
It's true.
that's gonna be 7 points of damage.
Swatch
7
for-
points of
for the win.
damage
Oh wait, halved.
for missing an attack. Hello.
3 points of damage, not. It's
Oh,
half my.
giving me a heart attack over here.
Does
Sorry.
the +2 still apply for
Oh,
damage?
it's supposed, but like half.
Can you
I remember
read me the
No.
the Stoke?
Would it be damage rolls?
It's yeah, it's the damage rolls. So
So she
it's,
did roll for this damage, which then would
No.
be halved.
No, it would only apply if she also applied like her strength modifier or something like that. Because what the damage that gets through is half of your precision damage.
Oh yeah, it's only precision damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, only
Yeah,
the
yeah.
precision damage.
All right. Well,
That's still a
second
solid
action,
3 points
I'm
of
going
damage.
to tumble through to the other side of this dude.
Okay.
It's an
That's pretty
acrobatics
daring.
attack.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an acrobatics.
Pretty daring.
This is gonna be against his reflex DC.
Alright. It's only gonna be a 9.
Only a 9. So, you go to tumble through his legs, but he is able to kind of turn his heel to the side and push it in front of you. You kind of like stumble into it and bounce back off. You're still in the same spot.
Well, I am gonna try again.
Okay.
But this time I'm gonna try to like flip over him.
Okay.
18?
That hits it exactly.
Yeah.
There it
You are
is.
just able to manage getting yourself over his head. You feel the heel of your foot kick off the brim of his hat as it topples to the ground.
And it does 10 points of damage, right? No?
To his hat. His hat is now broken.
Okay, cool. Well, I got my panache back.
And he's very upset with you now. He says, "That hat cost me 3 gold!" And will turn around and try to hit you with his club. This time going for the legs, trying to just snap you in half. That will be a 23 on the club.
That'll hit.
Okay, but he's not. You are not flat-footed, which means he will not get the sneak attack damage. But he'll still do 6 points of bludgeoning
Oof.
as it just cracks into the side of your knee, and you feel just kind of the bend in your leg as it impacts. You definitely think that's gonna bruise tomorrow.
Cool.
He's then going to step, and swing on Bastro.
He's not next to Bastro.
Through?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
his
wait!
friend?
I'm looking at the wrong thing. He's gonna go to there and swing on Bastro. I was like, "Ooh, I got him now!" But then I looked at the map and
You paid attention to what was happening.
it's been a long day. It's been a long day. That's gonna be a 14 to hit, which I don't think is gonna do it though.
It will not. Nope.
Which means it is now Bastro's turn.
Wouldn't it be the knife thrower guy?
Like I said, I'm going to stab you with a knife. He has to draw another knife. You see this sheath.
Dan, I appreciate your honesty, but like in the future, could you not?
I have to be honest.
Yeah, you
My-
see this
my way.
The only thing you have in the after.
Part of his alignment.
Yeah.
Dan's alignment, not Bastro's.
Dan's alive.
He's got a bandolier across his chest that has 12 knives along it. You see 3 of them.
Just full
12!
of knives.
12!
Just full.
3 of them are missing. One of them presumably being behind Bastro somewhere. But he pulls another one with his first action. Will go to stab
2 of them are behind him.
with the second action. Oh, I definitely got you on this one. Yeah, it's gonna be a 25 to hit.
Oh my god.
Bastro?
He's frozen.
That definitely,
Yeah, and it gives him the stunned condition.
that definitely-
And you gave him the stun.
hits Bastro for,
He's back. There we go.
definitely
Yeah,
hits
that
Bastro
hits.
for 5 points of piercing as he just stabs you straight in the side of the ribs.
Owie.
Yeah, it's
Did
uncomfy.
I not tell you guys I turned on the Roll20 Jumanji setting, so what happens to your character happens to you in real life?
Yo.
I didn't say
Thank
that.
you for doing that.
I was
yeah.
wondering why my knee was hurting.
Yeah. You used to be an adventurer.
Second attack comes in for a natural 20.
No.
Oh, give me a break.
And Bastro's
I'll give you a
dead
broken
for
bone
that.
with this dagger.
So
What the
bad.
heck? What the heck?
We're out here having fun,
What's the
ladies and gents. We're out here having fun.
So dead.
what's
Uh,
the damage here?
You take
What am I looking at?
only 5 points of damage as I roll a 1 and a 2 on my 2d4.
You'll love to see it.
We're gonna start escorting every individual to their residence.
Like at some point, someone's gonna.
That's the end of his turn. Bastro, it is now actually your turn. What would you like to do?
Ah, crap. That's a good question. I'm gonna yell at Twinkle Toes. You gotta come help me. I'm in a little bit of pain. And then, first action, I'm going to take a scroll out of my pocket belt or
Ooh.
belt pouch that I have, and then I'm gonna two-action heal myself.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what we got. It's a D8.
Pocket scroll.
I will remind everyone that you do, in fact, have 1 hero point for starting a new session.
Yes.
Great, I'm back at full.
Is activating a scroll an action?
Yes.
It's the same number of actions as it would be to cast the spell.
Yes, you have to. It's still that really terrible economy from first edition where you have to like take an action to draw the scroll and then potentially use your other 2 actions to cast it.
No, it's just how many actions the spell is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The trade-off being that you're not using a spell slot.
Yeah.
All right, and that is the end of Bastro's turn. Twinkletoes, you watch your friend get brutally beaten upon, pulling out a scroll in desperation. What would you like to do?
5, 10, 20. Confident finisher.
I didn't really think that one through now, did I? I mean, he didn't think that one through.
William, that is going to be a 18 to hit.
That hits exactly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, actually, with flat-footed, that definitely hits, yeah. Yeah.
And this was a confident finisher,
I believe you.
Oh.
Are you stoked?
but I'm no
No,
longer
she's,
stoked,
she's
right?
no longer stoked.
Yeah,
Right.
no longer.
Unfortunately. Unstunned.
Well, that's still going to be 9 points of damage.
Okay, 9 points of damage. So you run through the meat of his shoulder, right under the collarbone. He looks very unhappy to be in the situation he is currently in.
Run through that meat.
I am just going to do a little, na 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 na. So, like,
Oh, what?
yeah,
A professional nan.
Hold on.
professional na 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 na.
One more time.
Na 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 na.
A mechanical taunt.
That's what I do whenever I stab through a guy's literal shoulder, is I just taunt him. I find that
Can only go well.
Brutal. Twinkle Toes is brutal.
The performance check didn't go through, though. So, no panache.
Yes, but we felt it in our hearts.
Okay. Oh, so do I get it anyway then?
No.
on the
No.
But
I'm.
another hero.
Will is fascinated. This guy is.
Will-
Oh no! But Jumanji is working too well now. It's only affecting us in real life.
yeah, that's,
The end of Twinkletoes' turn brings around the beginning of this man's turn. Now bleeding profusely through his coat, you're watching as this tide of red washes over the patch with the hand on it. And in a desperate attempt he's once more going to reach out with his free hand and try to make a snagging strike against you. Think gotcha here. Think gotcha. It's a 19.
That'll hit.
Okay, so makes a melee strike against you with his open hand. If it hits, you become flat-footed as he wraps up your clothing and holds you down. He's then going to take the other hand with the club in it and try to bash you over the head with it.
That's
Price
cool.
is dirty.
I want to play this class.
No you don't, because I rolled a 15.
Nope.
Against your flat-footed, not even close. Cool, I'm just gonna cry a little bit, I guess. But you are flat-footed until the start of my next turn. Or until the start of my next turn, or you leave his reach. So he's gonna use his third action to make another melee strike. Hopefully we can get somewhere. It's potential. It's got potential. At a -10, it's another 15. Oh, so sad.
Wow.
Not having the best night, this guy. You know, he thought he had a nice little payday incoming. Turns out, not so much. The other friend of his, taking a play out of Twinkletoes' book.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Once more, we end up going from playing Pathfinder to playing Chinese checkers. And he's going to swing out with another knife attack. Ooh, 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
This one grazing across the side of your arm. You take 4 points of damage. One last attack just for the fun of it. With his third action, not gonna hit. Bastro, what you got?
Alright, first action. Twinkletoes, you're back to being stoked. Get that +2 damage back. And then, second 2 actions, I'm going to use my last spell slot of the day that I had been keeping handy.
That's what I like to hear.
And I'm going to command the knife thrower guy. So, I'm going to try to command him to go prone. So
you're
he has
just
to make
telling
a will
him to
save.
drop.
Yeah,
Okay.
just grovel beneath me. No, I don't think Bastard would say that. That's basically what's happening.
Ye lowly peasant, grovel. He will make he will attempt a will save. 17? It's a tweener.
Oh, that saves exactly. So success means it's unaffected. That sucks.
Oh, man.
But that's my turn.
I really
Gray
wanted
is
that to
no
work
longer
for you.
stoked.
Right. No.
And with that, we roll around to Twinkletoes. Twinkletoes, bring it home. Come on. It's gonna go
Alright,
real bad if you don't start something here.
What'd you say?
Said it's gonna go real bad if you don't start something.
Thanks.
Or end something.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think these
already.
underground thugs don't have the best intentions for our amigos here, guys. I don't think that this is all on the up and up.
You never know these
I mean,
days.
like,
They could just be new wave aggressive salespeople.
They could be. They really could.
I don't have panache, but I'm just gonna swing at him.
They're out here selling wooden clubs and daggers
Or no,
by
I'm
showing
flat-
efficacy.
There's no way for me to not be flat-footed anymore. I can't like.
If you step
said I could
out
do
of the
that.
reach of this character, you will no longer be. You also won't be flat-footed at the beginning of its next turn.
He is flanked, so I think that cancels out your flat-footed.
Flat-footed doesn't affect to hit, right? It's just AC.
No, just the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not gonna be flat-footed when he begins his turn again.
Okay. Do I go for panache or do I go to hit? Why did I just go Laura Bailey? Okay. I'm gonna try for panache. I need the confident finisher. No, I'm just going to hit. I'm just gonna strike.
Just roll a die and then say something.
16.
Is that to hit?
Oh wait, he's flat-footed, isn't he?
He is flat-footed. That does hit. That hits exactly.
Hey.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Plus the +2 from Stove. It's gonna be 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. How do you take him down?
Oh.
Well, he bashed me on the knee. I'm taking out his Achilles heel. I'm slashing that tendon.
Yeah, so
Ow.
you reach around with the backside of the main gouge and rip out the back of his ankle in just the most vicious ankle pick anyone would have ever seen. He falls over backwards, grabbing his legs, screaming, before going silent as the blood loss sets in. He's down. You've got 2 more
Alright.
actions.
Yes.
This is
Second
good.
action,
This is good.
I'm gonna go 10, 15, 20, and strike at that dude
Okay.
with my third action. That's cracked. That's gonna be -4 because it's agile. So, that's gonna be. Gosh,
Come on, baby. Come on.
it's only a 15.
15. 15 is not quite going to do it.
Okay. That's the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. The man
Nice.
before you, with all of the daggers, like, drops his hands to his side, eyes wide. He looks at the corpse of his friend near Bastro. It's just says, Johnny! Johnny! Like, takes 3 steps back, and then will use all of his actions to flee.
Hey,
15,
Oh my goodness.
20, 25.
get him out! Get him and his knives out of my face. Get him out.
He dips
I like that
around
he-
the corner of this building and dashes out of sight. What would you all like to do? Do you want to drop initiative? Do you want to chase him? What's the plan?
I want to
Google
staunch
says-
the blood on this dude.
Okay.
You want? Okay.
Keep him from bleeding out.
We
So,
can do that. Or I can do that.
if you do that, you're going to lose track of the runner. So I'm going to
I don't
drop
care about him.
initiative order.
Yeah.
Well
Okay.
done. The dynamic duo forging their friendship in the fires of combat.
Combat. Yeah.
And Peter. Don't forget Peter.
Me and
Oh, yeah.
Twinkle Toes high five.
Twinkle Toes, after the dude runs away, is just shaking. Like, just, like, you would see, like,
Bastard's
cold
gonna kinda
sweat
kneel-
start to, like, come over her, like, once the adrenaline has passed a bit. And
Twinkle
you
Toes,
probably start
do you
to
know
see
these
her
people?
panic.
They were calling you Ileana or something.
I've never
What
seen
the
these people
heck?
before in my life.
They have that
Sense motive.
weird symbol on the chest. Some kind of palm imprint.
I have no
I-
idea.
Man, the
Bastard wants
Audacity
to-
recording is going to be so great.
Catch us on iTunes in like 2 months.
Hang on, can you repeat what you said because I caught none of it?
I had just mentioned the handprint on the guy's chest, but Bastard just wants to know if you're okay, like if you can even move or anything.
I'm all right. Do we go for authority? I don't know what to do right now. Like,
It's so late. Maybe we should just
It's
tie
so
this guy up
late.
and leave him on some guy's doorstep or something with a note.
Yeah,
I'm a
don't
bad
call the
guy.
cops. It's late.
It's like 10 p.m. That's
I'm
so packed.
sleepy. Don't you dare.
Twinkle Toes is gonna pull a little piece of paper out of her belt pouch and write a note on it, being like, "This guy was bad."
Wait, before that, let's
It's
loot the
bad,
body
man.
first.
That is
Bastard
admissible in
wants to-
court.
Oh yeah, I want to loot his body. I want to see what he's got on him.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception for me. Just one.
Okay. Just one of us?
Just one of you.
Did you say?
You probably have better.
Because I can't imagine
I
one of you
rolled a
going through
5,
his
so-
pockets, not finding something, and then the other person be like, yeah, I'm gonna check it anyway, though.
Fair. Okay, I'll go. I'll do it, since this was personal. Ooh, 21.
It's personnel, kid.
So you did know him.
I mean, it was personal because he called me out.
Okay, so, let's see. He's got the club. He's got, a sling. A sling with 10 bullets.
I'll take it.
Or
I'll take the bullets, rather. I leave the sling.
Just cut it.
Suit of studded leather armor. An entry in his character sheet that says attack of opportunity that I missed. And
Y'all have been dead. Oh my god.
And about 2 gold in assorted pieces.
That's absurd.
I
What the
take
heck?
half of that and give the other half to
I opened his character sheet back up to look at his inventory, and my eyes fall on the attack of opportunity, and my heart drops.
That's the
How's
funniest
he
thing
not
I've ever heard
freaking-
in my life.
This guy has to be a fighter then. What the heck?
For those of us who are not aware of what that means, an attack opportunity is a reaction, something we haven't seen a lot of in this game, which
That's because we're all level 1.
reactions are things you
Still,
can do outside of
technically.
your turn that are instigated by certain triggers. Attacks of opportunity, whenever somebody like moves through a square that you like threaten with a weapon, or if they take actions that would trigger an attack's opportunity, you can then make a strike for like as a reaction, almost for free. Much bigger deal in first edition than it is in second edition. Everybody had them in first edition, so you like had to not move anywhere. But people are a lot more mobile these days because only, as Ben said, like only really fighters and like some other classes can get them, which is cool. By the way, EG, I'm not recording any of this in our loot sheet because I figured you have this, so the
Cool.
party
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
know.
I'm taking the 10 bullets and then 1 gold and giving the other gold to Bastra.
Cool.
Which I appreciate.
Oh, and
Oh.
I also do as Grace suggested and slash the sling, so it's not useful.
And are you guys just leaving him here? What are you
No,
doing?
no. Bastard definitely takes rope out of his bag and ties this guy up.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, die.
immobilized.
Sure. You're easily able to. I mean, he's not moving. He's not fighting you. You're easily able to bind him.
I want to make a little sketch of the emblem he has sewn on.
Sure. It's very crude. It looks hand done by somebody who is by no means a seamster or seamstress.
Cool.
And it's literally just the outline of a hand in this copper thread.
Will, can I make a knowledge check to see if there's like a guard station somewhere around us, a police department or something?
You wouldn't need to make a check. You've been around enough that and Twinkle Toes would probably also know the area well enough that you're aware of the fact that about 2 blocks away you could find an Edgewatch outstation. Yeah. Edgewatch being the guard of the Precipice Quarter.
Right. Bastard turns to Twinkle Toes. Should we just carry him to the guard station? Like, do you know where one is around here?
There's one just like 2 streets away actually, but the thing is he's about twice my size. So I think
Well,
you'll have to do much of the heavy lifting.
I'll
If you're all right with that.
just drag.
Drag him. That's fine. Yeah, let's just drag him.
Yeah,
Cool.
between 2 of you and a rope, you're not going to have any
That's
issues
fine.
if you're not trying to be careful with him.
Yeah, we're not being careful with it.
I didn't think you would be.
No. Yeah, so,
So
we
yeah,
do that.
we start heading towards
Cool.
the Edgewatch station.
So you go about 2 blocks, you turn a corner, and you see still lit the signs of the only stone building in this section, surrounded by wooden houses and shops. The only stone building being the Edgewatch guardhouse. It's tiny. It's only 1 story. It looks like at most like 10 by 20. It just literally seems to be an outpost. You see that there are lights on inside in the front windows, but the windows are barred and the glass is frosted, so you can't really make anything out on the inside. But there is a front door. It's a like heavy wooden, almost gate style door that seems to like it would fold back and create a temporary blockade if necessary. What would you all like to do?
I knock on the door.
Yeah, so you give a quick knock. You hear some grumbling on the other side before a stout face appears around the side as the door is pulled slightly ajar. You see a middle-aged man, rather portly, with close-cropped salt and pepper hair. He's got like a thick mustache, but the rest of his face is like it looks like it hasn't been shaved in the past 2 or 3 days. And he just kind of looks at you and says, "What you want?"
Good afternoon, sir. I go into like a sweeping bow, curtsy deal, and I say, "Good evening. My friend and I were on our way home when this fine gentleman attacked us, claiming I was somebody that he knew. I don't know him. I've never met him before, but he did try to kill us. We defended ourselves. Here he is. He's not dead. We made sure he didn't die. Yeah.
His name's Johnny, if you're curious.
Oh, right. He did have a name, didn't he? Yeah.
There was another fellow who was throwing knives at us, but he...
Yeah, there was another
to...
one. He got away, though, and I didn't particularly feel the need to chase him down.
All right. Well, I'll throw him in the lockup, see if anyone knows about him.
Okay, do you recognize that emblem that he's got right here?
You like point to the patch. He kind of leans over around the frame of the door. Can't say I've seen it.
All right. Well, the other man he was with had one too, so I assume that they're part of the same gang or circle or what have you. So, if you see it, just be on the lookout. There might be some troublesome folk.
All right.
I'm sorry. I didn't get your name. What's your name, sir?
I'm Officer Rodrigo.
Officer Rodrigo. It's lovely to meet you.
That is
I
first
wish
name
it
or his
were under
last name?
better circumstances.
Yes.
You're not allowed to ask that.
It's actually a title. Rodrigo is their captain equivalent.
He's an
Officer
captain.
Officer captain, yeah.
Officer captain.
So he didn't give any part of his name. He just gave his title.
He gave his title, and that's all the average citizenry needs to know.
Absolutely.
Well, here you go. If I could I get my rope back?
Could he have his rope back?
Sure. And he like unwraps it, drags the man in, and you hear like the clank of a metal door being opened. You hear a grunt and the soft thud of a body hitting stone floor. Then the slam of a gate, the turn of a key, comes back. All right, should be taken care of.
Thank you
fully
so much,
expected Johnny to have like reversed the
It was-
grapple there.
Twinkle Toes thanks him, and I assume they leave.
Yeah, Master has his rope. He's good.
Okay. And you all head back to Twinkle Toes' apartment.
Yes.
Cautiously.
So
Very, very cautiously.
So we will cut that scene there and open back up onto Dr. Xavier Forsythe. Dr. Xavier Forsythe, what are you doing
Oh.
with your night?
Hi. Yes, so the doctor went off back to his apartment over in the Ascendant Court to retrieve some like additional medical supplies because he's realizing that if he's going to be palling around with these goons for much longer, he's going to need some additional stuff because we keep getting into difficult situations. So
Sure.
that was the inspiration for him going back to his place.
Yeah, so you take this trek, and I do mean trek. The Ascendant Court
It's not close.
is about an hour and a half away,
Yeah.
walking through the most populated district of Absalom, and normally it is still very busy, even on an average night, but it is still the Radiant Festival. So festivities are still very active all around you as you make this journey. There are like night bars going on. You hear the sound of a dozen different bards and buskers. You see the drunken merriment of festival goers as they begin to make their way back home in their stupor. And as you approach, you turn the few back streets off of the main thoroughfare through the Ascendant Court. I'd like you to roll me a perception check.
Okay, can do. All right.
Is that night bars with a K or without a K?
Night bars with a... It's with a K, but it's for flavor.
Night bars?
Yeah.
So it's exclusively lords and ladies in there. Men of the night.
It's what you would expect.
It's Knife Boy about to turn the corner and attack Forsyth and be like,
Yeah.
I mean, we recognize you.
All three of us go through the same encounter.
You
Well,
see
like,
him doing 6 knives on his bandolier.
This was a
Johnny
test to
Depp,
find the one
boy.
true hero of Absalom.
wait, that'd be so
Whoever
weird.
scores highest is the winner.
You just go around accusing everybody, like, we knew we recognized you.
Yeah.
You just find out he's a crazy guy who doesn't even live in the city. He just goes up to strangers, accusing them of knowing them.
Of knowing them, accusing them of knowing them.
And then fucking
I know you.
It's the same name.
That is a brash accusation, sir.
That'll be our
I
third
rolled
hero
a-
of Absalom is Johnny's friend Knife Guy.
I rolled a 20 on the
A
perception.
20. So that is
Total,
good
not
enough to
natural.
notice the fact that as you turn onto your street, the door which you believed to be a door is actually slightly
Ajar.
ajar.
My favorite joke. Doors ajar.
But only slightly.
This is
That-
your front
That's
door,
what I see.
by the way. Yes.
What's the light situation like?
There are one or two houses on this street that still have lights on, but it's predominantly businesses with housing on the second floor.
Yeah, sure.
So street level, it is pretty dark, save for the occasional torch or lantern posted on the wall. It's very similar, actually, to the map that we're currently on,
Cool.
where it's like maybe a door has a torch or a lantern burning outside of it, but you're far enough away from the main roads that there is no city lighting.
Well, the doctor he sees this and he's maybe what, like 50 feet away or something, 30 feet away.
Sure.
And his face goes a paler shade of blue than it already is, and he freezes for a second. And with his very normal human ability of dark vision, does he see anything else?
Yeah, normal humans can definitely just see in the dark.
Normal.
Boo.
Think about everyone. Think about your normal human experiences of seeing
Yeah.
really well.
You can see in the dark, right? Like,
It's
yeah.
pretty normal. Yeah.
Pretty nice.
No suspension of disbelief here.
With that roll, you're unable to make anything out through the very slim, kind of, entry that is made by your ajar door.
Okay, well, I rolled a 10 stealth, and I will slowly approach
Sure.
the door. He's like
Stomp,
checking,
stomp.
he's like checking behind him
Mhm.
the entire way, which is probably what's making a lot of noise because he is like 10 out of 10 nervous right now. He thinks he like after the last experience he had when he was here, or like when he was at his office and those things had like ransacked the place. He does not like what he's going into, so he's slowly approaching.
Sure.
And if nothing happens, he'll like peek in.
You make it to the doorway. All seems to be still around you. The already faint noise of merriment and revelry around you seems to almost like disappear, and that pressing silence begins to envelop you as your attention is so thoroughly focused on your direct surroundings. You peek in.
Yes, he slowly like tilt his head past the door to see if he sees anything.
Go ahead and roll.
Listening the whole time, and he's hyper focused.
Go ahead and roll a perception.
Dear God. I'm gonna keep it. Okay, that's it's an 18.
An 18. I'm not sure what Forsyth would have been expecting in this situation, but it probably isn't the fact that your office seems to be exactly as you left it, save for a small object seated on what you normally use as like a receptionist desk. There seems to be a small black object seated on top of what looks to be parchment in the center of the desk.
Do I recognize it at all? Is it familiar to me?
It's hard to tell from where you are. You'd have to get closer to discern. It's black on black, so you're having issues even with
right.
dark vision.
But it's notably out of place, is what you're saying?
You don't seem to remember ever having this strange shaped object on top of your desk.
And I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything.
Can I roll a new stealth to enter? Or do I have to keep that 10?
Yeah, I'll give you a new one. It's a new place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so he sees this, takes like one last glance around, and okay, that's better. That's an 18 stealth, and he will like very slowly enter, and he will like checking corners the whole while.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time he's actually like without realizing it, he's rubbing a ring that he has on his left pointer finger like the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like without realizing it, he's just he's just doing like a nervous tick and rubbing this ring, and he'll approach this black object, the like orb thing, and
it's not so much an orb as you get closer to it. As you get closer, you realize it begins to take the semblance of a shape that is similar to a bird's skull, except it is made of leather. You see as you approach that it is this black, almost mask, similar to a plague doctor mask, except it is in the shape of what would be a bird's skull. And instead of eyes, it has these large glass, like, protrusions, bulbs, that are this, like, opaque green color. And under the mask, and it's small. I mean, it's about yay large. And under the mask, as you get there, you realize that there is about 5 what look to be flowers that have been laid out under the mask. The petals now wilted and dried, blackened by age, and a letter underneath it all.
I mean, he'll like he very tentatively he doesn't want to touch the skull, so he'll like scoot the letter out from under it.
Sure.
And he won't pick it up. He'll just like scoot it away so he can just read it sitting there on the table.
Sure. What languages do you speak?
Quite a few. I speak Common, Dwarven, Elven, Infernal, and Angelic.
You actually don't recognize what language this is in.
That's almost more concerning. Okay. The doctor is going to... He like realizes he can't understand it, and I mean he cold sweats. He hates everything about what's happening right now, so he will like crumple up that letter really fast, shove it into his bag, and then like thinking he feels like there's no one here, but he's more like just in a panic because of what he thinks is happening, and he's going to like just scour the place, grab the supplies he was thinking of getting here, and then if nothing else happens, he's gonna like literally sprint out.
Sure. Where are you going?
To the puddles.
No,
Hang out with the goblins.
All the way to the goblin's apartment in the...
I was muted. I said, you're always welcome at Twinkle Toes' house, even though it's a bit of a squeeze.
yeah, I'm
Walk an
trying
hour and a half there, just to walk an hour and a half back.
I think he will go, like, he'll sprint, like, he'll just be running, I think, for maybe, like, 10 minutes before he realizes, like, oh my god, I gotta figure something out, like, calm down for a second, and he'll find an inn that's nearby, and just go in and pay for a room, like, frantically just go in and you know,
Yeah.
burst in and say, I take a room, any kind you have, and he'll just, like, throw, like, 5 silver on the counter.
Man, you're lucky that was the exact number that I had in my head, because this is the Ascendant Court. It is a nicer area, where you might be able to find a room in the puddles for a few copper. Here you're going to spend about 5 silver for the lowest tier of room.
What you trying to say about the puddles?
The puddles is not a nice area to live.
Yeah, what's up?
It's not a nice area to live. Fight me.
So yeah, he like,
It's literally underwater. Like,
That is
A little
beachfront
bit.
property. I'm confused.
A little bit.
prime
Okay,
beachfront
$9
property,
for
man.
It would be great if you were a
Atlantis.
mermaid.
Atlanta.
Who's gonna buy them? Aquaman.
Sell the houses to who?
Sell the houses to him!
You settle in for the night, and after...
Well, so he like panics to whoever's behind the
Yeah,
innkeeper.
he,
and
like,
he'll,
tosses you a
fervently
key.
ask, and he'll say, "Is there anyone here who speaks who speaks languages? Who a bard or someone?"
Let me get my manager. And he, like,
Speaks languages.
turns around,
Dr. totally
knocks
didn't recognize
knocks
the
on the
name.
door with, like, one of those nice little, like, plaques on it that's, like, shiny and bronze. Knocks on it. You see him in hotels all the time. Knocks on it, and after 2 minutes, you just hear this, "What do you want, Bill?" This man wants someone who speaks languages.
Like any language at all? Like anything?
Well, Bill, last time I checked, you speak common. It doesn't look like common.
The doctor has like no time for this conversation and literally just storms up to his room. He's over Bill and this. He's not thinking straight. He is upset. He is not in his right mind. He just storms into his room and like tries to figure out if there's any writing on it. Like he'll hold it like up to a candle, see if there's anything he can understand about whatever's written here.
Yeah, so you, like, hold it to a candle, you wait till it gets warm, thinking that there might be some kind of, like, invisible ink. Nothing appears. You look over it, you feel if there are any patterns in the paper, maybe some indentations or something that would give any kind of clue. And as you're racking your brain, you realize there's nothing but the short message in this strange language, seemingly written by a fine brush in this almost like Venta black ink. It seems to create a hole in the very paper itself.
Is there any sort of like, besides magic, is there any way to figure this out? Like, is there like a recognized language?
What skills are you trained in?
Literally almost all of them. The only things I'm not trained in are thievery, intimidation, and deception, and performance.
Hey, I know
Society?
Don't worry about it.
Can I roll?
Society is not.
Occult?
I'm looking through here.
I can roll any of the. I can roll magic skills. I can. Do
I wish
like
there was like
Arcana,
a
occult.
linguistics, because in first edition there was a linguistics skill specifically for this situation.
I thought society was like to decipher.
Does
writing.
society cover that now?
Let's
That's
roll.
what
Decipher writing. Yeah, go ahead and roll society.
There we go.
Society does, in
Cool.
fact, have an action decipher writing that lets
Yeah.
you examine for like coded messages or text that is in an arcane or foreign nature.
Yeah, so he will do that. Oh
The
God!
text must be in a language you can read that the GM might allow you to attempt. Basically, this is kind of homebrew, but like you're trying to identify it. It's not exactly what this skill with this action is for, but like we can.
Well,
say that
as a trained society action, it says decipher writing that is coded, text written in incomplete or archaic form, or in some cases, text in a language that you don't know. As a trained society action.
So I rolled it's not great, which is really upsetting because I have a +10 to society, but I rolled a 16.
Have you spent your hero point yet?
A 16 is enough.
I don't know.
Well, what do you want to do?
He already started talking about it, and I'm keeping it.
A 16 is enough to
I'm not
know
happy about it.
not what the text says, but to at least
That's fine.
give you a clue as to the direction that you should pursue. You're getting a strange mix of two languages, which is why
Oh.
at first glance you couldn't make sense of it.
Okay.
But it is almost like a Creole mix of
Okay.
celestial and infernal.
Oh,
You
so
see-
I speak Infernal. Is there's not
Wait,
anything.
Isn't angelic and celestial the same thing? Are those two different languages?
They are two
Don't
different
talk
languages, and it is gibberish in infernal. You feel like you have to understand celestial to be able to parse it.
So I can't. Yeah, I can't understand.
Yeah.
It. Okay. Well,
I wonder if there's anyone in our
Yeah, does anyone in the party speak Celestial?
Huh. I wonder
Wait,
if anybody would speak Celestial. That's weird.
Maybe our
Yeah.
star-touched
Hopefully we'll find out. I don't know.
Oracle.
Just hopefully, and we'll find someone who speaks Celestial.
so I think the doctor, he will just agonize over this letter basically all night. So he will get practically no sleep, and he's just the whole time doing this nervous tick of like scratching this ring that's on his left hand. And he's just staring at it the whole time. So unless anything else happens, Will, I think like the
Okay.
image of what happens here is it just fades out on him literally like muttering to himself.
Sure.
Like they're gonna find me. What does this mean?
All right, go ahead and roll a Constitution save as you are actively avoiding your body's natural tendencies. This is just to
Okay.
see the effects, if you are affected by your absolute disregard for your own personal health.
By a Constitution save, do you mean Fortitude? Or
Like I
straight
said,
up
Fortitude save.
Constitution?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
5
Okay.
easily.
5th edition at it.
Finally, a good roll. It's a 22 total.
22 total. Yeah. So, despite the fact that you are engaging in these nervous tics and stressing yourself and willfully avoiding sleep, you're able to stave off the effects of deprivation for now.
Cool. Yeah. So he's just looking at the thing and he's just muttering to himself like they're going to find me. What? Fear,
Wait,
fear,
so
what
does
do I do?
Forsyth not sleep tonight then?
I mean, he will get like crappy sleep at best.
So you don't level up.
Does he
Sucks
level
to suck.
Shit, sucks to be you.
He will get 8 hours of restless sleep, but he will get a long rest's worth of sleep.
Okay, I'm walking it back.
So
By
it's
the
fla-
skin of his teeth.
So it's flavorful wrestling.
But mechanically, he's getting all the benefits.
And I also in the morning before I come back, I'll treat wounds so I'm full health.
Okay.
His mental breakdown keeps changing every 3 seconds.
Well, it's a breakdown. It's unpredictable, Jack.
It's true.
I think that is a good spot where we're gonna go into a break. But I will see everyone back here at 8:30 Eastern Standard. So thank you for joining us for the first half. Don't go anywhere. Got some great stuff coming up for you as we continue the Heroes of Absalom campaign. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Last we left off, we saw an interesting scene with Xavier Forsyth as he returned to his practice, his medical practice, to find a strange,
Spooky.
ominous gift or offering or something of a strange set of flowers, a strange mask or leather bird skull, and a letter in this obscure script, which he found to be a mixture of infernal and celestial.
What a bizarre combination of languages that is.
Yeah, honestly.
Literally the language of hell and the language of heaven used together.
It is perplexing, to say the least. And the fact that Dr. Forsyth only knows one of the languages leads to his consternation as he begins to descend into a strange and dark place. But we pull back out from the hotel room that Forsyth is breaking down in to come back to two goblin figures as they walk the streets and laneways of the puddles.
Hey, Will, real quick, I think me and Dan switched.
On the overlay,
I
yeah.
have no idea what you're talking about, and it's
Everything we do is perfect all the time. It was always intentional.
not a problem, because...
Well, what we're gonna do is one day we're all just gonna play each other's characters, and this is just practice for that.
Character swap.
I've done that adventure.
I'm ready.
It's fine.
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
could, that could be a good one-off. We just create a character, and then at the very beginning of the session, just give it to one other person.
Well, I keep...
Who played a dinosaur?
I have one-shot ideas like this.
Well, I've been saying that we should make characters, and then every session, you pass the character sheet one to the right,
That would be so hectic.
I think it'd be fun.
including the GM spot.
No.
Yo, what?
No.
It's like
You'd have multiple people who would know the adventure then, though, right?
no, because it's a high stakes game of telephone, where all you're given is the information from the previous sessions, and then you just run with it.
But you can do it one of two ways. You can homebrew the whole thing, where you don't have a coherent adventure to start with, or each of you only reads a certain amount of a pre-written adventure. So you don't they could be referencing things from before and after that you don't have any idea what they're talking about. So if I read book 1, you read book 2.
This is too chaotic for my brain to handle.
You could
right
just
now.
run through, and there'd be no common threads whatsoever.
Yeah,
It
it'll
would
be
be
fun.
like the new Star Wars films. You switch a new
There we
director
go.
every
Exactly.
time.
And those were so critically and
Those were
Or
right?
those were so lauded by fans that we should emulate that model.
But we forgive.
directors.
But we forgive because they gave Jon Favreau the Mandalorian, and all is well now.
The
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Our one true Star Wars god.
It's like the only good Star Wars thing that's come out in the last decade.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's
You
the
guys
new
know
generation.
that,
Yeah.
No.
Did you?
Rogue One was not good.
Wait, what did you say?
I auditioned for Ray.
Did you get the part?
Oh, wow.
That's
You-
cool.
Daisy Ridley beat me out, y'all.
I'm just asking. I haven't seen any of the new films, so
Well, Daisy
Why?
Ridley was also
You
a
thought of her.
relatively unknown, not a famous Hollywood actress when she got the part. So it could have been you. Really could.
Could've been.
If you were
I get a lot
slightly
of
more
requests
British,
to cosplay her, and I'm like, I don't know if that's kosher because I auditioned for the role.
it's still too
Like,
sensitive for me. It's a
It's a little
fresh wound.
sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, fresh wound.
well. Regardless, we see these two goblin figures as they
Who are they?
dip their feet into the lovely water of the puddles as they traverse their way back to their house. And they too see something interesting as they round the corner to make it back to their abode. They see a small figure kind of huddled in what appears to be a leather coat hanging down its oddly formed frame. A hat of sorts keeping back what appear to be two rather large ears. The figure pacing back and forth, nervously wringing its hands in front of it as it turns to spot the two brothers and seems to calm, waiting for their approach.
And Shark sees this.
Shark sees this, yes.
Shark, do you also see this very tall rabbit in a coat that's standing before us?
Well, he's only slightly taller than me, so please do not bring that up. Please do not bring that up.
This gigantic rabbit in a coat.
Second, please let me do the talking, brother. Just Mel is a bit of... Just shut up for 5 minutes.
Oh.
And Shark approaches.
Hey, Sharky boy! It's been a little bit since I've been seeing ya, huh?
Yes, it is. It's been several days. What can I do for you on this fine evening?
Well, I've just been having a bit of trouble finding good talent recently. With everything that's going on since you dropped off the wagon, I've been in a bit of a tight spot. So...
well, the festival is in town. I'm sure there is plenty of talent for you to recruit around, but
and there was some really good talent. You see, I had this group of kobolds, right? Called themselves the Stone Scale Stormers.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this, don't you, Sharky boy?
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, I heard you met them. How'd it go?
Well, we were hired, and they happened to be on the wrong end of that business arrangement.
You see, that puts me in a real tough position, Sharky. You see, I also hired them for a different purpose, and now, they half of them are locked away. Half of them, I'm pretty sure one of them went to the morgue. I saw a kobold go to the morgue earlier today.
Well, that's odd. We were sure to stabilize them all. I'm sure that had nothing to do with our...
Well, I don't know. I just hear things. Sharky. And what I heard is that you put them there. I'm just throw that out there. See what sticks.
Well,
Who are your sources of this information? How did you come about this?
Bear, please, just...
Who's your friend?
No, he's nobody.
No, he's definitely so. He's right here talking to me. Who's your friend?
No, he is. This is
Sharky, we have a better relationship than this. Who's your friend?
Ears.
His
This
friend is Penumbra Starbear. I'm actually
Penumbra.
an acquaintance of Sharks.
And did you go with him when you met the Stone Scale Stormers?
Of course, we go everywhere together.
Oh, you go everywhere together. I figured if Sharky, I figured you would have told me if you had a crew already.
That's not a crew. My brother is in town visiting for just a couple of days. If you need me to fight next week, I would be happy to. But as of right now,
no.
I'm unable.
No, not next week. See, like I said, I hired these kobolds. Yeah. See, Princess Puddles got another Royal Rumble coming up. You see, and I need 5 fighters to fight in the Rumble, and they're not here because of you. All right, Sharky.
So what
do
is
you
it
see where I'm going with this?
If I were you, I wouldn't have put any money on the kobolds anyway. They didn't exactly.
They did not put up much of a fight.
Which means that you'll have no problem taking their place at the Rumble.
Well, I would suggest you find the people who defeated the kobolds.
It was literally you.
Well, Bear, I already told him that we did it. I'm not sure where your ruse is going, but
Look. I understand you're a busy man. Okay? I get that. I respect that. You're a family man, apparently, too, with your brother here. That's great. that makes for good stories. All right, we're all about the storylines. But
yes.
the problem I have right now is that I need 5 fighters. You're the one of my former fighters, one of my best, the creme de la creme of my fighters. Go in, bash their heads in, and now you're telling me you can't take their place.
When is the fight?
3 days, same place as always. It's under the brewery. You know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Except this, see, Princess Puddles, right? She's got ambition, right? So there's gonna be a lot of big players there, right? They're gonna have their own teams, and well, I need you to do good, Sharky. It's very important.
What if and Mel, what if I say no?
Well, if you say no, then well, let's just say that I got friends, right? I got friends who don't like goblin architecture, and he like points to the door behind him. I got friends who don't like halflings. Yeah, I got friends who don't like doctors very much either.
He's a very normal human. I'm sure that
It's a human thing. It's not.
Right. What I'm saying is that you've got a debt to me now, right? You messed up my fighters, and what I need from you is to repay your debt. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying, Sharky?
What's the payment for the fight?
The payment for the fight, if you win,
we will win.
If
we will
you
win,
is about 200 gold.
3 days, and look at me, Mel. Look at me.
I'm looking.
1 fight. We will not fight more than that. 1 fight.
Yeah, see, it's more of a tournament thing.
How many rounds?
There's 6 teams, so give or take 3 rounds.
I thought you were going to say 16.
I said 16 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is the next.
This is a
15
week
episodes.
straight of fighting. Gonna be
You're
fighting for
fighting in a
hours every single day.
gladiatorial gauntlet.
No, it's 6 teams, all right? And they're all sponsored by very notable underground figures, right? Underworld figures. It's a big event, Sharky.
I get it. Now tell me, Mel, what is your cut of the winnings?
Oh, well. I already told you what it
Oh.
was after my cut.
Yes, I'm understanding that, and I'm going to insist that we are given a larger cut for the short notice and for our guaranteed victory.
What do you mean, Sharky? You got 3 days.
Well, you need us.
Oh, I don't need you. I'm just giving you the opportunity to pay off your debt the easy way.
250 gold.
Pray tell, what would be the hard way to repay the debt?
220.
He pulls Bear off to the side. He's like,
Sidebar.
Sidebar. What do you think? What do you think? Like should I go 235? What? I'm not very good at this.
I think we can squeeze the 250.
You think we can squeeze it? I should go hard on the 250. You think?
Go hard on the 250. As always.
Okay. I think you should take over negotiations from here because I have a very low charisma modifier.
Fair enough. As the this is the end of the sidebar. As the business representative for Shark's assets, I believe that 250 sounds fantastic to me. There
Well-
are 5 of us in the combat. 250. 50 for each of us.
Okay. All right.
Sounds even. Sounds fair.
I
sounds
hear what you're
reasonable
saying.
To me.
I hear what you're saying, right? I understand where you're coming from. Go ahead and roll a diplomacy.
I do not aid.
A 16.
16. I understand where you're coming from, but Penumbra, right? Penumbra?
Yes, Penumbra.
Penumbra. You got some nice tattoos, Penumbra. I appreciate a man with good ink.
I'm sure you don't understand them in the slightest.
I understand that you got a lot of self-expression, okay? I don't need to understand what it means, but I can appreciate good art when I see it. I can also appreciate the fact that you're getting 220.
See, to me, it seems as though you don't have a leg to stand on these threats that you make. I've never seen your forces. I don't know you. All you do is wear coats and intimidate people. Even weaker than you.
Hey, Bear.
If you had a fighting force that you could threaten us with, you would just enter them into the combat, no? But you need people to fight for you.
Well, Bear, there's kind of a long certification process to get approved. I know it's an underworld seedy thing, but it's
you see, to me, it seems as though my brother was right. It seems as though you need us significantly more than we need you. So we will take 250, or we will not fight in your battle.
Shock, I'm gonna let you talk to your brother.
3 days, 3 fights.
3 days. Brooktown Brewery. You know the code.
We'll be there. This is it though. After this, I'm really out. I'm out.
As long as you don't incarcerate any more of my fighters, we'll be fine.
Well, maybe you need to stop hiring fighters that I get hired to incarcerate. All right.
Good comeback.
All right, Sharky. I'll be seeing you in a few days.
A pleasure as always, ears.
And the ears tucked under the bowler cap flop behind him as he scoots along and scurries away. And you are left outside of your apartment.
What ancestry was this person?
It was a rat folk.
It was a rat folk, okay.
Yeah.
With enormous ears. Shark just like takes his keys, opens up the door, and starts walking upstairs to their apartment, which is probably on like 16th floor or something. Like,
Penumber's gonna hang out a little bit and just, like, watch the guy walk away for a little bit and just try to understand what the hell just happened, and then he'll saunter into the apartment.
Yeah, I mean, he's out of sight in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
He kind of just like saunters away, turns a corner, and is gone.
Yeah, the streetlight fog is gonna cover him pretty soon after that.
Yeah.
Shock. There are approximately 5 things you need to explain to me, so I would just let you talk, and I will do my best to listen a little
Shark
less
leans over
than I currently am.
Shark leans over the stairwell and is looking down 16 floors and says, "Can we have this conversation up here instead of, across the hall? Could you come upstairs, possibly?" Shut up! We're sleeping here.
Clop, 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 clop for 16 flights. But yeah, we get back into our apartment, and Penumber just really wants to know what the hell just happened.
Yes, you see, that was someone I met when I first moved here. His name is Melvin.
But he's called Ears. I was able to follow that much.
Yes, he is. He calls himself a talent representative, but really he just facilitates teams and gambling in the fighting rings beneath the city, where I made quite a bit of money to start my life here in Absalom. And while I had gotten myself out of the game, when I got the job working with various practices like Dr. Forsyth's around town, it appears as though I've been sucked back in for one last hurrah.
Shock, the
day before retirement.
It's one day from retirement.
Shock, the
I don't need no partner.
The Shawanti have mixed feelings about the exchange of currency and belongings for combat. Combat is something that is only performed when necessary, and not a sport, not a way to get by. Of course I will go with you wherever you go, but this creates significant problems for me.
Well, if you'll remember, you have another heritage that honors this kind of conflict. So perhaps you are more in conflict with yourself than you are with...
Yes, but goblins also don't have any money to trade for fighting. We just fight because it's fun. You're missing the point.
You're missing the point!
These sort of organized rings are dangerous.
Know you.
I don't believe I have to explain this to you. You've seen them firsthand, but
Well, yes, I mean, I literally fought a shark at one point. It was awesome, brother.
Oh my
you
God.
should have seen me. It was
Shark?
incredible.
Shark was. Wait, no, I'm getting excited. So that's the wrong message.
Well, that was the whole point. It was my big hurrah. They were saying goodbye, and he said, "What if? Listen to me. What if you fought a shark and your name is Shark?" And I said, "You know what? I'm in. I'll do it."
Good story.
I don't believe that the stars and the universe will look kindly upon this endeavor of mine, and certainly not on this endeavor of yours.
Well,
I believe we should exercise as much caution as possible. Perhaps over the next 3 days, we can do a little bit of research into who will be fighting and what sort of things we need to prepare for.
it'll only take one call to figure out who we're fighting. I can certainly get the lineup for us.
Right, what's a call?
It's when you lean out the window and you yell.
You're just going to shout into the street.
You yell very loudly, but if you yell the right name, it will call back to you. Yes.
We just got in trouble for shouting in this building.
Well, you don't do it at night,
This
you
just
lunatic.
happened.
You do it in the middle of the day.
You
Well,
hear
you said
banging
that one call.
with like a broom on the floor beneath you.
I'm sorry,
Doof,
Mrs.
doof, doof, doof.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Rosenbaum.
Fine, it's as simple as you think it is. We can just do it tomorrow morning, when apparently everyone cares less what we do.
Well, it's a lot. That she wakes up early. She's got a bad hip, so she doesn't sleep very well. It's just. Yes, we heard you. We heard you.
And Amber's just like he's like glaring at you, just like so bored and done with this that like he's got like you can see he's got a lot of emotions he's trying to process, but has no capability to do so, and certainly not with you in a way that would be constructive.
I don't know, brother. I think it might be fun.
I'll be going to bed. You let me know when we know what we're fighting. Let's get our significantly more intelligent friends to help us in devising stratagems.
I get the top bunk tonight, and he jumps up onto the top bunk.
Penumbra actually walks out and like takes a walk a little bit to cool his head. Steps out, goes down the 16 flights that we apparently live up.
The building is only like 40 feet tall, but there are somehow 16 floors.
It's only small folk. It's goblins, gnomes, and halflings.
Yeah, this is an exclusive.
And also leaning.
Yeah, it's like angled.
All the doors are like 3 feet tall, and if you're taller than that, you're not allowed at all.
Mrs. Rosenbaum is a very, very angry halfling old lady.
Yeah, I mean, you take a walk out into the streets. At this point, the puddles, especially during the Radiant Festival and at this time of night, I wouldn't call it the safest place to be by oneself. But you are a grim enough looking goblin that, at least for the time being, you are undisturbed.
I'm also still glowing, so I imagine you don't want to fight with anybody who's like literally letting off light. So.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're specifically looking for, or?
Sense support from the cosmos, but outside of that, no. He's really just trying to clear his head of some of the negative emotions that have been going on with the kobolds, with having to. He's kind of still wrestling a lot with the taking of hush money. He was all for it because like it got the conflict over, and like he was so despised. He was so like disgusted with those despicable people that he didn't want to be there anymore and didn't want Forsyth to do anything stupid. But he's kind of trying to like wrap his head around the city life that he's found himself in after living for a long time in like the wilds of Varesia. So he's just trying to get recentered a little bit.
Go ahead and roll me a religion.
Okay. Should just know my religion bonus.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll initiative.
It's
It's
so
really
weird.
a fortitude.
You look up and you see
I
this.
knew I recognized you, Eliana.
Does that man have 2 knives? With space for 15.
The artist really got your depiction correct.
Wait, Mrs. Rosenbaum comes out and says that.
Like disheveled, he's like bleeding.
I knew.
He's, like, disgusting. 14 religion.
Stupid.
You especially now after having this, you know,
Oh shit, that got me, Emily. Oh man.
after returning to Absalom, and finding your brother, there's been a fair share of tense moments,
Yeah.
but especially after this, just sheer disconnect with your brother on just basic moral questions, you feel the press of this city more so than ever before. And to add to it, as you look to the sky for comfort, for grounding, for your searching for the North Star, both literally and metaphorically, for guidance.
Yeah.
You stare up into the gray, light polluted clouds above you, finding no answer, and feeling nothing but the weight of the almost festering civilization around you, this oppressive crush of mortality that you feel now weighing upon your once freed soul, after living with the Shoanti for so many years in the rejection of this very condition. You find its presence even more abject now, as you search for that comfort and find none of it.
Yeah, I think he'll just sort of meander across streets and alleyways a little bit, and the puddles are right along like the shore of Absalom, and he'll kind of look for a little bit like sandier or muddier place, and I think he'll just sort of like, he doesn't like sit down or anything, but he'll just like try to commune with the moon that he can see. I don't know what phase would be in, but like the moon or whatever star constellations he can find, and he'll like maybe draw a couple of like Shoanti runes or like symbols or pictographs into the sand or mud, and then just kind of like turn around and lazily walk home.
Yeah, so late into the night, you finally make your way back to your apartments. Shark already snoring loudly in the top bunk, sagging somewhat into the space that you would take up since your ceilings are only 4 feet tall. And eventually, though troubled, you make your way to some semblance of rest. All of you wake up after your various struggles in the night before, rested to some degree and fully level 2. It only took an episode and a half to really get there, but
Right.
So based on the interpretation that like we don't get our full hit points right away, we wouldn't actually rest to our full hit points.
Now you get your con times your level.
Yeah, con times level. So we don't actually get to
The
full
doctor
hit
treat
points.
wounds to full health.
yeah.
Yeah. Twinkle Toes definitely asks Bastro to do some like battle medicine.
Instead, Bastro's gonna. Can we just go ahead and say like what our level 2 stuff is? Like.
Well, this would be like before going to bed that she would have asked.
Oh yeah, then that yeah. Let me roll for that. You actually don't get it. Bastard doesn't.
Stabs you in the leg.
Did you roll low enough to hurt her?
No.
Aww.
11, so it's not enough to heal her. It just doesn't happen.
He's just like, yeah, this should feel better as this bandage is like falling off of your leg.
Yeah. Just
I'm like,
incompetent
I think the injury was actually, I think he hit me a bit like 4 inches high. No, oh, okay.
He's bandaging your ankle and your knee is
we'll
just
try
like.
again tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm so tired. I'm a little drunk.
I think it's stabbed.
Yeah, so those of you who weren't in a combat, you are. Well, I think you would actually go to your full hit points if you didn't take any damage. When you
rest, you only go level times con.
Right, but when you gain the HP from a level, I would assume.
And that was kind of my question. Is like, do you
Yeah.
want to just say we go to full?
I don't see why you wouldn't just
Okay.
earn that HP. Like, it wasn't there to be taken away in the first place. and then
I
it's
was down
given
for
to
whatever,
you.
but like, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
But those of you with a deficit from combat, aka Twinkle Toes and Bastro, you get that HP, but you still are down however many you were down from the night before.
Raw, you do not gain the hit points. This would be a homebrew.
Oh, that's dumb. We're just gonna roll with.
So rules as written, you would level up, get hit points, and then have to heal to full.
Correct.
I don't like that.
That's dumb. Yeah,
so
that's very stupid.
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like as part of fully surviving and resting through to second level, you should just have that HP. But in Twinkle Toes' case, you're down
complaining.
X amount.
Also, at the pace we go at in this game, it'll be a whole day by the time we get to level 3 because we'll have like a million combats.
and honestly, you're just gonna need every point of HP that you can get to survive your next day. So it makes sense just to give it to you so that there's at least a chance.
I appreciate it.
You all wake up in your various locales, feeling rested and more world-wise, more powerful. Some of the muscles or reflexes or even spells in some cases that you've been working on for the past few days, you feel like you can finally get it to click, and thus your abilities are improved. You gain your feats, your various new spells that you've been practicing. Anything from second level, you have now full access to.
Yeah.
You all did set a meeting at the Tipsy Tengu for 10 a.m. this morning with Isabella.
Before we leave, I turn to Bastro and say, "Hey, could you try that healing thing again? Chance, I'm feeling better, just not like."
Here, let me try something different. And Bastro's gonna wave his hands around Twinkle Toes' face, and a small halo is gonna appear over your head, and then you gain 8 points of healing.
What?
I have a halo?
For like a short amount of time, for like 4
I can
rounds
see
of
a
combat
halo.
time.
But I have a halo. I look up,
Yeah.
I see that, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm an angel.
But you can't really see it. Like, you see it out of the corner of your eye, and every time you, like, tilt your head up to look at it, it just, like, follows back.
But I can, like, off the tip of my hair, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how do I look?
If you looked in the mirror, you could see the halo.
Like a dog with a tail.
I don't think it's happened yet.
You know who's gonna love this? Dr. Forsyth. He's
He's
gonna
gonna be
love it.
stoked
He's
about
gonna
it.
love
He's
it.
gonna be so stoked about it.
Are you at full health yet with that 8
No.
8 points?
No.
Bastard does
You
it
too.
again,
Yeah.
so you get another 8 points.
Cool, now I'm up.
What is this ability?
It's so it's called Life Boost. It's a witch cantrip. It's a witch hex. It's a focus spell. It's not a cantrip, so I can't use it all the time. But I do have 2 focus points that I can use it for. So,
Nice.
Yeah. So
Cool.
every time, and then like every 10 minutes, I can just make refocus to get a focus point back. I can do it again. So
Dude.
dedicated healer here.
That's
2E
cool.
Witch is so cool,
Incredible.
man. Oh,
Very
it's
cool.
so cool.
And then before we leave,
Twinkle Toes turns to Bastro and says, "Now, I have a question. In like, when I'm like trying to get people's attention and things, do you think this would help? Like, would you be able to?"
it wouldn't help the check. You would look awesome, but it wouldn't help.
Well, that's what we really care about is how cool I look.
No, you would look way cooler, especially if you're stoked as well. So.
Oh my goodness! And if Penumbra does that like sparkly thing behind me, oh.
You'd be like in a play, like as in like the pumpkin and the ghost.
I've always wanted to be in that one. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I wish I was there to correct you so bad. Oh my god, I wish I was there to correct you.
Whatever
If
those
only we
two
had
goblins
30
were talking about.
They don't even know the kind of training those 32 cast members have to go through.
If you all don't think that Gray and Jack have been actually working on a script for the past 2 weeks for this fictional play in a
Then you're a
fictional
fool.
game.
I will confess we have not been, but that's just because we're busy. We absolutely would.
It's like it's not on paper, but it's totally in their heads. Like,
It exists up
It
there.
already does. There's
There's a storyboard out there somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Merch
So
incoming.
before me and Twinkle Toes leave, Pastor's gonna take 30 minutes to first refocus, and then he'll cast it on himself so he can go back to full health, and then 20 more minutes to refocus those 2 focus points.
So by like 1 o'clock, you'll be right at the meeting.
1 o'clock.
We
It
would
doesn't
have
take
thought
that long.
that, like,
To refocus.
We got
20
him at
minutes.
12.
Yeah, no. So is anyone else doing anything before they set out for your appointment?
No.
Okay. So you
Shark
all
does his normal alchemical stuff in the morning, but that goes
yeah,
without saying.
you all do your daily preparations for some.
oh yeah, I
It's
do my morning yoga.
praying, yoga, alchemical preparation.
Prepare spells.
Dr. Forsyth, what does Dr. Forsyth do for preparation every day?
Idling himself in fear.
The doctor sleeps way longer than he normally would, so he actually I think arrives late, and is like totally disheveled. He's
Sure.
like notably out of it. Yeah.
Are we jump cutting? Can I respond to that, or are we gonna you gonna do an intro, Will?
I mean, what you got? What do you want to do?
I was gonna say like Shark would 100% notice that. Like he has
Oh.
spent the most time with the doctor by a lot.
So so we do cut to the outside of the Tipsy Tengu. We get the nice little bell over the door as Twinkle Toes and Bastro bust in, greeted by Bellberry. Oh, hello! Welcome back. It's so good to see you, Twinkle Toes. So nice to see you. Followed probably 5 to 10 minutes later is Shark and Penumbra, who make their way in. Bellberry once more ushers you, as well as Twinkle Toes and Bastro, to the back room where you first met with Knight. That oh so long ago, 48 hours back, and followed finally by Dr. Xavier Forsyth, showing up about 15 minutes late to your scheduled arrival time, which was already only about 20 minutes before your scheduled meeting. And Xavier Forsyth finally makes his way into the back room where the group sees the disheveled look about his person.
I think we all noticed that he's very disheveled. I think that we would.
Yeah.
The fact that he's
After we
late
noticed,
and
yeah.
fucked up. I think we would pretty much all.
I think I kind of
Twinkle Toes pipes up. Oh, did you get attacked last night too?
And the doctor said, "What? You got attacked?"
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Shock, Penumbra. Bastro and I got attacked by somebody who claimed that he knew me and I'd never seen him before.
That's
I
generally
guess, yeah.
something you tell someone immediately, not something.
Yeah, I
you wait
forgot.
for.
You know, we've gotten attacked a lot in the past 2 days, so it sort of all blends together.
Twinkle
Well-
Toes, do you still have that sketch of what those men were wearing?
Oh yeah. I pull out the little handprint. This
They
was
had
in
this emblem.
like copper thread. Have you seen? Do any of you recognize this?
Was it society or what was
Society, yeah.
Shark would like to roll Absalom lore.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Could I
Brett.
roll again since it's a new day?
The doctor will roll.
Yes, yes, you can.
That's a 19 Absalom lore.
Oh, that's a damn. I thought that was an 8. It's a 23. Society.
the number?
23 society.
No, 12.
Yeah.
12 for both Absalom Lore and Society. That's for me.
Okay. You said for both Absalom Lore and Society?
You would go Absalom lore because the DC
I
would
rolled
be
a 12.
lower.
Yeah. You all are. Actually, I think everyone hit it. Familiar now that, especially Twinkle Toes, now that you are no longer imminently threatened, can take a moment to recall the fact that this is the symbol of a burgeoning thieves guild, which is just only recently begun to make a name for themselves as the Copper Hand. Hence the Copper Hand.
Copper.
Yes.
Stupid.
You can
So
tell
I
they're
pull
not
it
an
out. I'm
artist
like,
of
do
this
any of you
guild.
recognize? Oh, it's the Copper Hand.
It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's the Copper Hand.
It was staring you right in the face.
Yeah.
Are thieves guilds like
Two of
cruel?
them were staring me right in the face.
No.
One of them got away.
Well, are thieves guilds like a thing in Absalom? Because in other cities in Galarian, like they're just a thing that exists, and like everyone knows that, and like they all move on with their lives. But in other cities, like they are.
It's not like Riddleport. Like thieves guilds run a town like Riddleport, but in Absalom they're like underground, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
the
saying
guards actively try to apprehend them.
So there is a varying degree. Riddleport is the example, but like Magnamar and Corvosa have thieves guilds that like operate, and everyone knows about them, and they just like exist. It's like organized crime. Like there's nothing you can do about it, so they just like don't do stuff that's super illegal. But is Absalom like really hard about thieves? What is the attitude towards thieves guilds?
So
like,
Absalom is an interesting case because the districts are essentially mini cities in and of themselves. So somewhere like the Ascendant's Court is very, very, very strict about cracking down on organized crime. There is virtually no organized crime. Whether or not you consider the things that various groups are doing entirely legal, despite the fact that they have legal standing, there's always going to be corruption, right? But in terms of like your street thugs, your thieves guilds, your gangs, it really depends on the district that you're in. So like the Puddles, there are tons of various gangs, guilds, whatever. Usually they're more closer to the loosely organized, unorganized crime in the Puddles. This group appears to be trying to make a name for themselves and carve out their territory specifically in the newly established Precipice Quarter, where resources, from what you guys understand, are already spread pretty thin where it comes to law enforcement, and the pressure from the Radiant Festival being housed in the Precipice Quarter is basically stretching all forms of the government in the district to its like very thin, and they're unable to really address anything while they're still trying to put on this show. So the Copper Hand has been taking advantage of that fact and doing some audacious crimes and heists and various low to mid-level kind of notoriety crimes and heists, as I said, and really started to make a name for themselves as kind of the up and coming guild in this district. Not to say that there aren't other guilds and groups from other districts who are trying to push their way in, but this guild seems to be entirely brand new, kind of coinciding with the establishment of the Precipice Quarter.
Twinkletoes, do you have any personal connections to this Copper Hands? Do you know any members? Have you ever crossed paths with them before?
Well, not with the Copper Hand specifically, but, you know, I did a little time, in my life, so, you know, there are lots of people who don't like me.
What?
That-
No. There's no.
Bastro's gonna lean in and be like, should we mention what they were calling you? Like whispering to Twinkletoes.
Secrets are no fun.
Yeah, it would be absurd for any of us to keep a
For a
secret from everyone else.
Yes. All of us have no secrets.
Are you
Speaking of
seriously
which,
not going to show us? No, you're crazy.
speaking of which, we will all be fighting in the pits in 3 days' time. Do not ask questions.
Yeah, so Rat
Wait.
came and told us that.
I have several questions.
Pay a debt.
I have
They-
several questions.
I will not be taking questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will not
Please
be
respect
taking
my-
questions.
Please respect my privacy and my family's.
You can't even do it. You can't even do it. You can't even do it.
I am signing your life away. No questions.
I just see the camera flashes and the blue background behind Shark, and it's like, Mr. Thorngrabber, Mr. Thorngrabber, Mr. Thorngrabber.
So yeah, the doctor rushes in, and he's all this happens, and he's even more confused. And he says, "Sorry, I'm late, everybody. It seems we've all had a tumultuous night. I apologize for my tardiness. By the by, does anyone speak Celestial? For no reason.
I think you would know.
I actually did have a halo this morning, so maybe I can now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Let's give it a shot.
I think Penumbra is gonna enjoy this a little bit too much. He'll just kind of like cross his arms and look at you. Oh, so now we have need of someone with divine capabilities, do we?
Knowing Celestial is not in and of itself divine. It's a language. I could learn it if I had time. This is not. It's a time sensitive.
Not
Wait,
exactly.
give me the letter. I want to try to read it.
Who said anything about a letter?
Oh.
I just need to know someone.
General question.
General question for no reason.
You 100% know that they're speaking.
Yeah, and Penumbra will speak to you in Celestial and say, "Yes, I speak fluent Celestial."
I'm sorry. What?
And then he'll tell you in fluent Goblin, "Yes, I speak Celestial."
Wait.
Oh, that one.
So when he said it in Celestial.
Is what? So yeah, I do. I speak Celestial. Yes, I'd be happy to do whatever it is you need.
We will talk later.
This has been the
Secrets
most
on
awkward
these
and anticlimactic encounter that
I'm not enjoying all of the secrets we all have. Perhaps we should go around the table, one at a time, spill our secrets, so
All
that
right,
we
all
have
right,
a share
all
in
right.
a collective pot of secrets.
And at that point, Isabella walks in.
Is it? We need 5 more minutes.
I actually I was just
As you are like shouting back and forth across the table at each other about Celestial and the pits and being attacked by the Copper Hand, Isabella walks in, gives a little knock on the door, and just kind of waits for you all to die down.
Do we want to let? I don't think we want to let her in yet.
I think we look to her and we say, like, there's like a pause of like silence. Like, can we perhaps get 5 more minutes?
No. Hello, Isabella.
No.
How morning
Baxter
going?
opens the door. Yeah, lets her in.
Is this a bad time?
No.
Yes.
No, it's
Yes.
not.
Quite
It's
bad.
not.
Yes, quite bad.
So I've got 2 for no, 3 for yes. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
I didn't answer. People keep
Lost
us
it.
speaking when I'm not saying anything.
I've got 2 and 2. I really need... Dr. Forsyth, how are you today?
Not great, if I'm being honest. Could you give us
Am I allowed in yet or no?
2 minutes?
2 minutes. Alright, I'll just be at the bar, I
Isabella,
suppose.
I will keep you company, and I go out.
Well, no, we need your secrets as well. This is a collective secret sharing.
She turns and walks back to the bar.
It's a potluck of secrets.
It's a all right. I guess she doesn't want to know our secret. She's just missing out on some good bonding.
You literally just told her to go away.
No, not Isabella. Twinkletoes.
Oh, okay. Did Twinkletoes go, or are you staying?
Come back to the table.
Okay.
All right. In the spirit of transparency and secretlessness, I will go first. I have signed us up to fight in the underground pits for a cash reward of 220 gold if we are to compete and win in 3 rounds of combat with various teams of 5. I've done it before. No, in total.
Each?
I've done.
Why are we doing
No,
this?
in total. I've done this before.
Don't you start that again.
I've done
Not
this
in this
before.
campaign, you won't.
It's very easy. That it's mostly for show. So Twinkletoes, you'll be great. They'll love you.
I'm not good at performing Shark. I don't.
What an excellent performance you've just given me.
Terrible stage fright she has.
I have signed us all up. There's no backing out now unless you can provide us with a fighter of equal capabilities of yourself.
I
That's
do
It's been
have
like
a
to hang out with them.
in the copper hand.
Oh, and the reason that I signed us up is because we are replacing the group of wolves that we dispatched previously. It's
Oh yeah, the storm scale stoners, right?
It's
yeah,
not,
the stoners. Yes.
It's not that it's our fault. It's just that filling the place is now our responsibility.
and it is quite lucrative. Are there any questions and or comments?
Yes, how did this become our problem?
An old friend of mine that runs the fights paid us a visit last evening as we were walking home, and we were left with not left with much of a choice.
And are these fighting pits legal? Or am I
No.
going to be going back to jail?
No, no one's going to get caught. Trust me, the guard is well paid off. They do not bother us on the nights of the...
Is magic allowed?
Of course it is. It's preferred. I mean, the flashier the better.
Preferred?
Picture WWE, but like underground and kind of seedy.
All right, I have a plan.
We will need costumes.
At the very beginning, I'm going to need you to hit me with the halo, and then, Penumbra, I need you to do the sparkles behind me, okay?
That requires a sure, yes, I'll do it.
Let me get 2 hero point or
Focus points.
2 focus points worth of economy just to look cool real quick.
For our walkout.
Twinkletoes doesn't do magic. She doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, you know, sports teams usually just like play a Metallica song and then move on with their lives. They don't like expend huge resources. All right, who has the secrets left?
Yes, who's next? I mean, are there any questions? It sounds like everyone's in, which is great.
I mean, yes, if I'm throwing my lot in with you, it sounds good with me.
I think it will be helpful in free debts, which is beneficial to the group because they would come after you. I am sorry about that. And B, funding our following endeavors, which is
Excuse me, you said people would be after me?
No. As long as we win. As long as we win.
Speak of the kobolds, there are implications for.
And we will win.
I have one question. I'm totally in this, by the way. I'm always down
Yes.
to tunnel.
I figured
But,
you would be the easy sell of the...
You know. What sort of people are going to be at this thing?
A wise question.
As in, who will we be fighting, or who will we be...
Do
Meaning...
they do the call? Will you be able to find out who we're fighting?
Yes, I can send out one of these calls to figure out who...
I hate you all. The worst.
Well, Shark, that sounds lovely and terrifying at the same time. I'm excited. I feel like I already shared my secret for the day that I did time. So, Dr. Forsyth, your turn?
Well, hold on. There was something you all were whispering about.
It was just about the time that I spent in jail.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
It's not my secret. That's all I can say.
You have a secret to say,
So-
Master?
So,
No, it's not my secret, so
it
I
sounds-
can't say anything.
it sounds as though
Can
it was
I roll a
secret.
sense motive on Bastro?
It sounds as though there was a secret to tell.
Go ahead
I'm saying
and
it's not mine.
roll a perception against his deception DC, which is 10 plus your deception.
Daddy won! It's a total
Okay.
of 10, but probably failed.
You haven't the faintest idea of... Actually, you believe him entirely.
Yeah, no,
Without
I believe him.
question.
All right, yeah. All right, that was a secret
I
about.
feel like we all have to roll this. Mine's a 17.
Is this against his DC or my
Is
DC?
deception.
His
easy?
DC.
Okay.
Try to
What's
crack
your
that.
deception, Bastro?
It's I don't even think I'm trained in deception. So 10, just a solid
Oh,
10.
I would have.
then I beat you.
Even with the natural.
All three of us passed.
So you all know that they were definitely talking about something that
Something
was a secret. You are unsure as to the nature of the secret, who the secret is about. All you know is that it wasn't
Or
Bastro's
suspicious.
secret.
Bastro is. Bastro
Shocking.
is.
It's perhaps wise of us not to pry too far. These are people we don't know all that well. Maybe we can save this for another secret potluck we can hold.
That's fine. I just feel as though it's not the spirit of our secret sharing time here.
Yes, but Shark, you do understand that I've known you for 2 days?
Yes, and we've saved each other's lives countless times. We are bonded in the fires of combat. I don't know how many times.
I've saved a lot of people's lives. That means I have a lot of bonds then.
All right. Dr. Forsyth, it is your turn to share a secret. What is this celestial nonsense you were talking?
Well, first, I actually, there's something I want to say, just really quick about yesterday. I got heated yesterday, dealing with the kobolds and these corrupt officials. I apologize if I lost my cool to any of you, but know that I do feel, in the end, we did the right thing. Neither party was in the right in that situation.
Dr. Forsyth, this is a conversation for another time, and it will be a conversation that we have. But right now, we're just trying to learn a bit about you before Isabella comes in.
Yeah, this is secrets time.
I was apologizing for my... Okay. He sort of
Heartfelt
like
apologies. Shut up. Give me your secrets.
I'm
That
just
was not a
thinking
secret.
that
We were all there.
your
We
secret is not yet accepted. and that we will have a
Celestial.
conversation about it.
Get to the spice, Forsyth.
I don't understand the vitriol, but I suppose we'll deal with that later.
You put all of our lives in danger yesterday with your behavior, that's why.
Oh no, I think that part was
you
fine.
were getting buddy with someone pointing a knife at an innocent person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
I-
talk about this later.
Tell us your secrets.
I think you're
Okay.
both comically wrong.
He just slams the letter down in front of Bear and says, Bear, I need your help. Please, help me read this. I recognize some of it in Infernal, but I know they're Celestial and I can't make out the meaning. What does this say?
Penumbra will pick up the letter and say, in the future, I would advise you to refer to me as Penumbra, and flicks the letter open.
Man, the doctor's making no friends.
Does Penumbra speak Infernal?
No.
So Shark will come over across Bear's shoulder and translate the Infernal parts into Goblin
Okay.
while
Well,
you're reading it.
The doctor speaks Infernal, so he knows those parts.
But
So
But
he
it's
like-
more,
like
but it's more
yeah.
for
weird.
Penumbra. It's for Penumbra. I'm like doing it.
So what I'm gonna need, and this is entirely me making this up on the spot, but what is Shark's Society bonus?
Plus, let's see, 5.
+5. And what is Penumbra's Society?
+4.
+4.
Can I please roll this on a +10 society?
Okay, so I'm gonna take the average between Forsyth and Starbear, which would be what, 6, 7, 7.
7.
Be the median.
Yeah. So one of you go ahead and roll Society with a +7.
And after Forsyth.
Dirty 20.
So the three of you take your time in really parsing this together, and it really is strange because there are characters from both languages and also characters that are like a combination of the two languages, and it is a very just dialect wise a mismatch of
Mess.
A horrifying
Yeah.
front of both languages.
but at the
It's
same
like
time
Spanglish,
but at the same time,
It's a pidgin
it
language.
as you are trying to, you're like going, no, it can't be the word they. Like it is an infernal, but there's this tale that's from Celestial on this letter that like is this inflection. Like as you go back and forth, it begins to make this kind of like strange, weird like flow of this sentence that
But
just
But Infernal sounds like.
well,
And
spoken is a
Celestial
different.
like,
Yeah, spoken is a whole different subject. This is
They're
purely
hearing
written.
Amalgamation of nonsense.
Yeah, spoken is a whole
It's
other
pidgin language
party.
in reality. Like, it doesn't
Shark
exist.
is like, Dr. Forsyth, do you think it's. Or.
You have to find like a harp somewhere to really be able to get the right tone in Celestial.
Christ.
You could burn a harp to really understand what's going on.
And eventually
Give me the halo.
you see this sentence. It's short and sweet. But it says, "This is no longer your home." and the emphasis is on your.
Oh my god, you stole from another person's house? Dr. Forsyth. You stole their medical supplies.
Wait, that's it? That's all it says?
That's all it says is this is no longer your home.
Do you share that with the group, or is it just between you
Oh,
two?
no. Yeah.
You would all hear it as they're going back and forth, and they
Okay.
finally.
You heard it translated, yeah.
Doctor,
Yeah, then I think the doctor maybe like says it once as he figures it out just out loud. He's like, "This is no longer your home."
who do you
Doctor, where
think
did you
this
find
is
this?
from? There's no return address.
This was in what was my home. I won't be going back. I am being hunted and had been able to escape these hunters for a time, but that's why I truthfully need to be with you all. Is I need
Protection.
protection.
You are cordially invited to tell us more about these hunters.
Not right now though, because Isabella is waiting for us.
We're still in secret time.
It's been 2 minutes.
And so much.
She like busts into the room with like 4 glasses in her hands. Are you all ready yet?
We look outside, the sun has set.
It's been 6 hours. She's just been at the bar for 6 hours. I know it's been about 15 minutes.
Jeez.
All right. We will take the meeting and then return to.
And then return to secret time. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, there's still some things
Ooh.
I need to learn about Penumbra. And
We are the secret keepers. Oh, not a bad name.
secret keepers.
It's
Hello,
Secret,
I actually
secret
really love
sharers.
that. That sort of fit with who I am.
I don't like secret shares because it is SS abbreviated.
I don't like that. No.
we tend to avoid
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Also,
We could
I
just
believe
like
only 3 of us,
and then say it like, what?
We'll come back to it later. Only 3 of us shared, but we'll come back to that later. You're
Perhaps we could ask Isabel if she would like to share a secret and join our club.
I would love to share secrets with Isabella. Let's do that. What?
Do you all go and notify Isabella that you're
Twinkle Toes would
ready
like to go grab
for
her.
I would love to go grab Isabella.
to give her attention now?
I think I should make it clear. Do not actually grab her.
I wasn't actually going to.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Okay.
Okay, no.
You make your way out, and she's got like a nice rosé in a cup.
It's 9 a.m., Isabella.
Floor-length gown. Rose, it's 9 in the morning.
Fine, it's a tequila sunrise.
What
That
is
is-
she getting drunk?
That is far more appropriate. for
She's got
for
a hard job, okay? She literally finds missing people. It's heartbreaking sometimes, okay?
Well, actually, we're the ones out there finding them.
Have you found them yet?
No, but we will.
Sharpshoot's making all these promises. We're gonna win the fight.
The secret keepers always get their man.
Isabella sees Twinkle Toes come out. Oh, are you all ready yet?
I am so sorry that took so long. These boys have no sense of time. Yes, we're ready.
It's all right. I was just catching up with Bellberry.
She's lovely, isn't she?
She is. She is. Just such a sweetheart. And the free drinks don't hurt.
No, they
And-
certainly don't. She makes a lot of friends that way, I believe.
And
Not that she needs it.
she stands up and follows you back.
Twinkle Toes is still swooning a little bit.
Now, I heard that you all resolved the issue at the pagoda.
A little
Yes.
of this, a little of that.
Sure.
Well-
Yes, we did. We learned some spicy information for you.
Oh, well, go on.
All right. Well, anyone else want to take the lead on this, or do you want?
Does the name Jeremy Hosk mean anything to you? German Hoff? German Hosk?
Hoff.
Jerry
H-O-F-F.
Hofferman.
Does the name German Hoff mean anything to you?
German Hoff. It's... Yes. In what's the context exactly?
So you've been fantastic.
No, I'm familiar. I'm just trying to figure out how he's connected.
He brokered the employment contract between the kobolds and the Minkai.
Yes.
It was apparently somewhat of a dubious contract. The payment was inadequate, and therefore the kobolds took matters into their own hands. An ill-advised strategy, and one that was highly disorganized, but luckily things have been sorted out, kind of.
But
he was the common thread that we found throughout all of it.
right, but what about the missing persons? I understand the connection with the kobolds, but what about the missing builders?
So the night before they disappeared, two of them were overheard talking. They said something like the housing being provided was a bit bleak, to be honest. The apartments were not the best. And they were talking about finding somewhere else to stay for a bit, and Hoff could find them cheap lodging. And that's the last thing they heard.
The end result being that German Hoff seems to be an important figure in this investigation, and he's where we all were thinking we would go next.
Yes, well, that is difficult. German Hoff is... He is a power broker of sorts. He is, well, it makes sense that he was the one who forged the illicit contracts between the Minkai and the kobolds. He deals in that sort of thing. He's a power broker. He makes transactions, or facilitates transactions between parties that are, well, below board, one might say. Whether it be labor contracts, housing contracts, various purchasing or export. If you would want to get around, say, taxes or import levies, he's unfortunately a rather powerful underworld figure.
Does he have anything, perchance, to do with the Copper Hand?
No, I don't think so. German... He tends not to deal directly with the various organizations. It's more the soft power that he holds over the various heads of underworld organizations that he levies to persuade them. He tends not to get his own hands dirty very much.
Does he have any interest in an institution like underground fighting pits? Would that be something he would take an interest in?
Shark nudges Bear in the side.
I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm sure he has some form of entertainment that he enjoys, but I'm not privy to his personal likings or dislikes.
So you couldn't answer whether maybe we could find him at one of these fighting pits.
Well, I'm sorry, I've never been to one of these illegal underground fighting pits, but if you have, then by all means, you tell me.
That was judgmental and presumptuous of you, but...
So was your statement, but nevertheless.
Shark gives an even harder nudge in the ribs.
If we're all trying to tie in last night's events, does German Hoff ever forcibly evict people from their home?
Does he speak Celestial or Infernal?
Well, to the first point, yes, quite literally all the time. To the second, I haven't the faintest.
Alright, so, there's a bit more that we learned about the whole deal with the kobolds and the Minkai, and,
okay.
If you want more information about, like, backstory and how, what happened.
Any information can help, honestly.
You'll have to tell us a secret in order to trade information.
Pay no attention, although we are always willing to hear secrets if you feel up to sharing, but you are not required to. Anyway, so the kobolds had been contracted by Hoff to work for them, but he was grossly underpaying them, and their work was much more than the other people who were making much more than them, and that is what the mini rebellion seems to have stemmed from.
Well, I'm not surprised that Jeremy would be dealing in less than ethical payments.
But nothing's been done to stop him?
It's difficult to pursue a man of Jeremy's persuasion in legal matters. He tends to keep his hands very clean. And I am no officer of the law.
I too wash my hands regularly.
Well,
It's fantastic. We are also not officers of the law, and perhaps we can take some extra legal actions against him.
I would advise against that. His title? Well, officially, he has none. He's just a very wealthy and very influential man in the underworld. And I would advise very much against direct action against Jeremy.
That's motive.
Sure. Roll perception.
Could I as well?
Like, why is she telling us to drop this? You know what I mean? Like, this is really suspicious.
She's not explicitly telling you to drop this.
She's like warning us.
She's warning you that this is a sticky wicket.
Will, I rolled a natural 20.
Natural 20?
Yeah.
She is... Again, she's not telling you all to drop the case by any means. She is just very... She seems a bit overwhelmed by the fact that this figure specifically is the one that's involved. It seems like that was much more than she was anticipating, and is kind of spiraling in her own mind, and the deflection is more of this spiraling from her going like down the rabbit hole of trying to put together what's going on, more so than like she's not like telling you, hey, don't go there. It's just like, this dude is serious. And she's in her own mind trying to figure out what to do next.
Okay. Alright, so we will not engage with him. At least not yet.
I might have an answer for you, but, well, if we're sharing secrets...
And we are.
Are you? Well, do tell.
I went to jail.
She did.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
I'm a goblin.
No.
That's
not
not
a question.
really a secret.
Bad. It's not a.
Did you know before?
I did, yes.
It's not a good. It's not a good secret.
I have a tattoo, but you'll never guess where.
Your face.
Damn.
I'm sorry, is
Sorry,
that a
can I-
trick question?
Bear, you're not very good at this secret.
Regardless,
As
I
you were saying,
am also in a roundabout way.
you have tattoos.
No. Well,
You're a goblin.
none that you can see. She pulls out the face mask and it's German Hoff.
Is Hoff threatening you?
No.
Do you work for German Hoffs?
I have a master who is much more familiar with the underground than I am. But currently he is away. He'll be back in about a week's time and might have more of an idea about how to approach the Jeremy situation.
All right, we'll wait right here for 1 week.
Right, but you have a fight in
we
3
will not
days,
do
so
that.
how are you going to do that?
How on earth did you know that?
I was listening through the door the whole time!
Pulls out a brass ear.
I have a flavor bonus from this brass ear! No, she's like, but, unfortunately, I'm at a bit of a loss at the moment as to what to do. This is a bit above my wheelhouse, or out of my wheelhouse, I should say. Above my pay grade, out of my wheelhouse.
Here's my wheelhouse. It's right here. Right here.
Okay, so what, Isabella? What do we do?
Well, you have the time to yourself.
Do it.
One might say you have a week of downtime, in mechanical terms.
Do you have concerns that perhaps Jeremenhoff might become onto us in our investigation and your organization and might move things around to make it more difficult for us to find him?
How
Right.
would he?
Are
He
we
doesn't-
losing the element of surprise here?
I really don't think... Not to sound or to be insulting, but I think you're
We're not obsessed to him yet.
somewhat beneath his attention, to be quite
I-
honest.
I thought the same, but I wanted to know if you had any.
You know, Isabella,
reservations.
just because of my small stature doesn't really mean I'm beneath anyone's
No,
attention.
quite literally, if he were to gaze at eye level, he would not see you.
Well, I realise that.
So
but
is he a
I'm
human like
very
Dr.
large
Forsyth?
personality.
He is, in fact, a human exactly like Dr. Forsyth.
He's also
He's blue.
He's blue too.
A very normal human.
No, he's a
yes.
normal human color.
blue.
Yeah.
That's blue.
You said he was human like Dr. Forsyth.
Yes, exactly like
Yeah.
Dr. Forsyth.
Just like Dr. Forsyth. Yes.
Dr. Forsyth, are you a normal human?
We are sharing
of course.
secrets.
What else should we do?
I leave that to you,
Deflection.
but
I appreciate that.
You can't roll a perception if he doesn't lie.
I will send word to Belbury when my master returns. Just check in with her periodically, and your time is
Well, I mean-
yours.
Isabella, you can always drop by my place too and just like...
I don't know where your place is.
It's right around the corner. I can show you after we're done here. If you'd like.
She just draws her a map on like a napkin.
Can I get your number? Your flat number.
I give it to her.
So you may call her this call that we do?
I will
No,
yell
no,
her
no.
name through the streets.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
wow, wow.
But you must call the right number, like it's the number where they live. So it's like that's your
14765! 14765! Yes, I will send word to Belbury when
Well-
my master returns, and as far as I'm concerned, your services are, well, not needed until then.
It sounds like we have plenty of time to prepare for our fight team.
Do tell.
Oh, I thought you had gone. Sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm quite done.
All right, we'll see you in a
Closes
week.
his eyes.
We'll see. My object permanence is not quite kicked in yet.
I'll just be going then. And
I think
she
I'm
walks
mechanically
out.
only about 5 years old anyway.
Bye,
so-
Isabella.
She gives a little wave over her shoulder as she exits.
Gentlemen, I believe I am in love.
That was quite good. You did excellent there, Twinkle Toes. I mean, really,
You got her call number.
really well done. Yes,
Thank you
you got
very
her
much.
call number. Yes.
Thank you. I am here to wingman if you ever need.
Perhaps we could practice your calling technique at a later time because sometimes there's a flirty thing you can do where you call. Yes.
You want to give me flirting advice?
Well, no, I was saying perhaps we could practice as a group and provide
Oh.
feedback.
We could do this thing called role play.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
have you heard of it?
Shark has really wanted to pretend to be Isabella for some time. I mean,
Oh my god.
I have a wig in my apartment.
It's disgusting.
That is 2 days ago.
I have a guy. Oh, really? You don't have a fast wig guy? I should give you his name.
I actually would really appreciate that.
How do you think I made all of the wigs for the Ghost in the Pumpkin?
Amazing. No, actually,
There are 45 elaborate wigs that must be made.
Can I get his flat number so I can give him a call?
Oh, yes. Of course.
His
of
call
course.
number.
This anachronism joke is so fucking played out.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I do not engage in such lowbrow humor.
So, besides our fight in 3 days, it appears as though we have plenty of time to do as we please. Dr. Forsyth, perhaps we could do an apartment hunting montage for you.
I think actually Isabella's exit is the perfect time to call it for this week. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us as we return after the holiday break. This was episode 11. Be sure to catch us episode 12.
21.
This is the first episode of 21. Be sure to catch us next week, same time, same channel, for episode 12 of Heroes of Absalom, as we go into a bit of downtime and begin to explore the mystery of Jeremy Hoff. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please follow us on Twitch and Twitter and YouTube and Instagram for all of our updates and all that good stuff. And we love you. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.